Hello everyone, Conor here. Just as a small disclaimer, some things we may talk about on the pod shouldn't be attempted or recreated. Remember to keep everything legal, keep it between the ages, and don't tear up the ground while you're on the pull. And we just randomly start talking to Bannon from Car X Street, which to be fair is fantastic.
I haven't even looked near, but
I am going to RB swap an EK9. You can RB swap EK9s, 2J EK9s, turn them rear wheel drive and all.
I mean, that's kind of cool, I guess, but also that's very like Forza. Forza, you can do stuff like that, can't you?
You can make like S13's 4-wheel drive. Well, let's carry on. So I started the game in S13.
Right. Okay.
And then first thing obviously was like put a kit on it and essentially have Dwayne McKeever's car.
Nice.
Only a back bumper on it.
Yeah.
Left her white and all that.
Did you put an RB in it, or
eventually? Then the way it works is you have credits as like money, and then you have actually wee like dollar things, which is harder to get money. And the really harder, the more expensive or awkwarder stuff is that harder to get money type of thing. So there's a lot of a grind on it. Sometimes whenever I've been playing like arcadey stuff, it would have been paid £1 and get like 50 grand, you know.
Yeah, something to be fair, right? There's an argument for and against the games. I don't feel games have a grind anymore.
But whenever you don't have that much time to play it,
that was what I was going to say. But like, if you're sitting and you just want to go, Farming Simulator is a perfect example. Government subsidy mod. If you just want to go and set up your dream farm and just go, do you know what? I'm just going to buy the tractors and trailers that I would want to have.
Yeah,
you're not going to play the game for thousands and thousands and thousands of hours unless you're Adam McCartney. Like, who?
Well, there's my godson, his brother. That's what they used to do. They obviously very hard to get internet where they live,
right?
And they never really had internet, or like crappy internet.
Right, okay.
It would barely work, and they didn't know obviously about mods of that, so they were only using the in-game what come with the game machines.
It's not the same, like.
And then whenever they were shown that by me, like, you know, government, because they used to come down and be like, oh my god, you've so many million in the bank, and they just bought tractors. Because I suppose,
how many years have you been playing this for? And you're like, about 3 years.
20 minutes.
Yeah.
But so in that argument, like, they didn't know about government subsidy mod and all that crack. So, but yes, further to that, so obviously it is 13, and it was actually while me and Adam were playing it for a bit there, I suppose a week ago or 2 weeks ago now. The S13, me and him racing against each other, we still got money, but because there's only the two of us, it didn't matter who came second or first, you were still getting money. So we technically boosted in Car X,
yes.
and then it allowed Adam get money and he could upgrade whatever car he had, and then so many races he had like 400 grand. So we could just build it every one.
I get a PS5. Connor Kelly and Adrian were with me earlier for a bit on the way home from Drifter Style, which I would actually love to go to, is that show, but you know, the lorry show. I'd love to go to Drifter Style, but just this was not the weekend for it, considering I'm only back from Portugal.
Well, like, I was meant to go along with them, and then I put them off because we'd on a clear out in the house, and then the day was to basically do around the house, and then so I had no car this morning, and then I couldn't go and do my bits and bobs this morning anyway, and then it was 1:30, and then it was watch the football, and then that just went out the window.
Fair enough.
But the basically, like, whenever if you ever do, it's as soon as I got that and had enough money and all that crack, then I RB swapped it and put all the fancy bits on it, and it now drives like, you know, the way Ultimate.
Yeah.
Now it just spins gears like, you know, like fuck. Then I had paid money and went, oh, buy an EK9. So I bought EK9 and went, oh, you can rear wheel drive swap this. And I looked and I had enough money for an RB. I went, an RB and an EK9, because it's just in the standard wheels. No, I put
Right.
standardish, like, you know, the Facebook Jordan type looking wheels.
Yeah.
Bigger versions of them on.
VTAs, I think you call them,
Or
or
VTAs.
or maybe they're fan. I'm
and
not a
then
Honda person. Don't
just
come at me.
Decked it. So they're basically like a split 5-spoke, you know.
Yeah. I know the exact wheels you're on about. Yeah.
Look like a cord wheels
Yeah,
only.
yeah.
So, and then just decked it and went. I didn't know you could rear wheel drive swap anything if it's front wheel drive, you know. So you could technically have a Golf or anything like that there. So it leaves it wide open, and because there's no licensing needed, because everyone's called different names, it's very cool that way.
Oh, that's cool.
Because like Adam now has his car in the game.
Oh, that's cool.
It was a GTI,
Aye.
but he could 4-wheel drive swap it and leave it literally his car.
That's class. Shame there's no Ford Sierras in them yet.
I don't know if there is one or not.
Well, speaking of that, actually, no. Remind me about that. I'll mention it at the end. Because we probably should get on with the podcast.
That's right, because it's 11:30.
Yeah, nice. Recording late. Now, in fairness, we'll talk about it in the what's new. So bounce on there.
Yes. So, how we going, folks? You're listening to the Agri Automotive Pod by Limited Slip Differences. Your perfect blend of cars, tractors, and literally everything in between.
Yep.
I am Conor.
I am Michael. What's crack?
We don't have an Adam at the moment.
No, because he is working. Imagine working.
Shift work, like.
Aye.
And you're listening to episode
69. I originally, for episode 69, had wanted to get like a comedian on, like Paddy McDonnell, but then I remembered to tell myself that we're really not that high up the food chain, and
we don't know how high we are up the food chain.
True, but
oh God.
What's this? Your alarm's about to go?
No. So basically, if anybody has an iPhone and you put two iPhones together, they just woo, and it looks like the two phones are 69ing.
Right.
Well, it's the joke of it. My watch was doing it with my phone in the pocket.
Really? I didn't.
It literally just the screen went white. It's a thing to share.
You know, like for AirTag and stuff. Not AirTag and airdropping.
It's a handy way to airdrop. But yeah, sorry, that actually worked out way too well.
I have a topic for you. You don't know what we're going to talk about, so I've done a wee bit of research this evening. So we have Al Dillon on the podcast. You'll hear him in a bit. We talked for a long time. So in order for this episode to not be 5 hours long, we're not going to talk for an hour. We're not going to talk for too long, but
12:30.
Do have a few things I want to go through. So first, what's new? I did not expect Limit Slip Differences and Nickel Brother crossover, but here we are. So Stuart and Gary came down. They're borrowing my side each other to go at grass. They're taking the Fraser. So I was like, yeah, come take it, but you'll have to take the banners from the tractor run off. It hasn't been out since, and I haven't taken it out since because of the banners, and I was on my own. And West, I appreciate I could have asked you to come down at any time. Anytime you're down, we're doing other stuff, and it wasn't the most pressing matter in the world.
I'll let you into a small secret.
Yes.
I said to Gemma when I was leaving the house, only have to record the start and the finish, not be too long the night, probably home writing sharp.
I told Becca the same. And here we are. So they landed down, and then that was okay. Then the 8240 got a flat tyre. So cue us sitting with a compressor.
No, even better. Me and you were standing looking at the 8240 drive by us, went. She'd stopped at this stage, like, and I was like, I think it fucking air brakes.
I was like, is that air brakes? You're like, it sounds like air brakes. I was like,
because every time they stopped, it went shh.
Yeah, and we were like, fucking hell, some spack of a tractor at 240 air brakes.
Retrofitted fucking retrofitted air brakes and all into it. Fuck.
Yeah, it turns out it was a gouge in the tyre. So Q was probably sitting for about an hour. We tried Oco tire sealing.
Talking about being green.
We were trying to get that, and at one point we even tried to see if we could stick tip over it.
Michael was his bright ideas at times.
No, it was Gary's.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, they said, what about a bit of tip or duct tape? And I was like, oh, we can try this. It just made, you know, whenever you like blow, like a leaf of grass, and you blow through it, and it makes like a squeak. Yeah, that's what the duct tape did.
It just sounded like a whoopee cushion.
Yeah, it was so funny.
So every time they drove down ours,
But the main thing is they got home.
Yes.
And the Fraser does look class on the back of an 8240, might I add.
To be fair now,
So period correct.
the Fraser was tipped up just to see everyone was working all right.
Mm-hmm.
And the Fraser emptied herself.
That Fraser is in probably a bit of need of a TLC, a bit like everything else in this yard.
The Fraser lost some more of the Fraser.
I don't know where it even came out of or where it's come from.
Either that or else
Jeremy's been blowing.
Jeremy
was the last man of that
Jeremy's
trailer.
spout is in that trailer.
Well, actually, better yet, Jeremy did not use that trailer. I don't think. No, Jeremy wouldn't have used it because it had the two things pushed into it. Because in order to get up the road quick enough,
Did she rattle that much? She rattled some of herself off herself and into this inside of the trailer.
I would probably say so. Yeah. She needs a wee bit of TLC. As I say, like everything around here. Fate has lost fifth gear.
So you were saying, is there anything from the...
I put it in the Fate group.
I thought you said the Fate group there.
No, the Fate group. And everyone has...
an idea.
Everyone's been like, it's Carburn. I don't think it's Carburn. 4-wheel drive. I don't think it's 4-wheel drive because, well, the tractor was in 4-wheel drive whenever I started this morning because I had lent her 10 hour fella to lift logs out of the field. But
out of curiosity, was 4-wheel drive on all the time?
Well, see, he only drove from here to literally over the road.
Because when we got the smaller Massey, the like anything, like any brand new tractor, you're going to get the small niggle here and there, something stupid. Literally, the first day we properly needed her, so the bigger one was with a loader to load the bales on, and I was going to be coming up and down with trailers, hooking on and off, keep the whole thing going like a cycle with 3 trailers. I went up the road after hooking off the first load and had the lights on, and whatever way I turned the ignition off and then turned the lights off. Then turned around again, fuck the 4-wheel drive things on, and flicked the switch. It was still on. I went, that's a bit strange, but drove anyway. And the whine out of her.
I see, mine doesn't whine at all. Like, you can tell when my tractor's in 4-wheel drive.
But like, I drove easy then as soon as I heard the whine, just in case something was going wrong, and then we couldn't get. Turned out it was a fuse.
Oh, see what happened with me today was drove to my cousin's.
Unless, not saying possible that could have been 4-wheel drive.
Unlikely, because I pulled it out of 4-wheel drive this morning, drove to my cousin's, 5th gear all the way, no bother. Got till the yard was putting out a wee bit of slurry for them, trying to beat the ban, which is Wednesday or Friday. It's the 15th, isn't it?
Be Wednesday then.
Wednesday. So trying to get the last bits done, and next thing went into the field. I was in mid 4th, spreading, went to go to mid 5th just because she was clearing her cell out, and the next thing just started rattling. And I was like, what the fuck? Originally I thought, is this a PTO problem? Then I thought, is it the box? And then no, it only does it in 5th, but it does it
high
in
and medium.
High and medium. So one of the things people have said is a chipped tooth on the 5th gear, which would mean maybe box has to be split from the tractor. And
out of curiosity, be worth checking the oil level in it.
Would be, absolutely.
You know, because you think of the driving down the Cork. And
no, she was alright, oil, but yeah, definitely worth checking. Like,
aye, it's some
because she never got warm. She's not any stiffer, any worse, or any easier, any harder to get into gear. The thing is, she takes 5th gear no bother. So yeah, I don't know what it is, but all I know is I don't want to drive her in 5th gear, so I need to get her sorted. So I need to get that done. Other than that, I've been travelling. Only back from Portugal for a wedding. I was in Bradford before that. Then last weekend there was a storm. Then I was in Bradford before that. So basically, and now I'm for Denmark this week. So if anybody ever wonders why I don't get stuff done, there's your answer. I
have just been working. and farming. We obviously the storm happened. Luckily, work let us away.
Right. Okay.
Right and sharp. Got home. It's funny. See, whenever you're in a shed and you can see what I'd nearly said that storm was on par with the red warning one.
No, definitely not. In my opinion,
the way the wind was blowing, the direction of it.
Maybe. Storm 1 absolutely fucked this place up.
But if the wind was going in a different direction, it can make a lot of things too.
Yeah.
So, basically, part of one of the roofs, one of the bolts in the timber mightn't be the greatest.
Mm-hmm.
It was going up and down, and all we could think of was, if that wind catches that properly, then electrics, everything like that, So, got it strapped down. Then more or less got the milking done early just in case the power went out. Thankfully it didn't go out. Hasn't went out since. But yes, so I had said to you, maybe give you a wee hand with the editing at some stage, and bought a few adapters for the iPad. But yeah,
just and see where your free time goes.
Like I had a pile of like SD cards and that, and I couldn't mind where they came from, and like our USB pens and that.
Yeah.
So put one of the SD cards into the iPad, and oh my god, I was reading Happy Days, and it was like, oh, whatever, and I was like, fuck, I wonder what's on this. Went into like photos, and it was
a gold mine.
Not well. It was like there was memes and silly photos from when I was first year
of school or uni.
Of like the stupid
like
photos that would have been sent about
Bad Luck
like,
Brian and all that kind of stuff, and like the troll face
before all that. Like I'm talking about, there was a video when about whenever we were weans, where a fellow was running in a pool and then he falls and slaps his face, or he goes. Do you mind? There was a young fella and maybe bad sight or whatever it was. And basically he was running and he wanted to jump in the pool, but he jumped and hit the tiles. Do you maybe remember what video? But it was wee snapshots, and like that's...
that kind of sort of stuff, for the Arab boy pedaling his bike in a donut. Have you ever seen that one?
Yes.
That had like
them stupid
ushers,
videos.
yeah, in the background,
obviously, like, that's absolutely terrible.
But yeah. Anyway.
That's... there was one even where it was like, do you know the car driving down the road nice and slowly, goes round the corner, and then the
thing jumps out and screams.
That was there, yeah.
Jesus, that caught me off guard. See, if I watched that now, it would still catch me off guard.
There was also one where it was like a camera, and I took a photo, and it was like, oh, please wait, and then it just came up like a fucking monkey.
Yeah, I remember all that now.
So anyway, stuff like that there was on it, but it was also old photos. So like, we got our 5470 Massey in March 2008. There was photos that I could never remember where I'd put of it on this particular phone.
That's class, actually, to be fair.
And like, now I only ever had one photo, and I had it on Instagram, and that was the only place I could ever remember where it obviously had it. But to find then, like, we had that trailer borrowed to bring about a second cut in, and then it lay at ours, because we never left home, just never got round to it. And I couldn't drive at the time, or well, could drive, but obviously not legal on the road. But it lay at the house then for like a year,
right?
Because they didn't need it.
Yeah, okay.
But the trailer at the time we borrowed was, if anybody goes on to Quinn's silage in 1994, the two red Rock trailers, the real old
TWs.
School. Yeah, even the smaller ones that have a very sloped side to them or whatever, you know. Basically there was photos of it lying about, and I went, you thought your camera and your phone was good back then?
Yeah.
Then it goes onto the iPad and it's literally like pixelated.
Your phone's 1.3 megapixel, well, mine's is 2 megapixels. It's like, holy shit, the Samsung D600 is 2 megapixel. And then there's one of the Sony Ericssons, I think the W950 was 5 megapixel, and I was like,
I can mind, it's like, how do they even fit that into the phone?
Yeah, and it was like the phone was basically like huge.
Do you mind the slide up phones, and the top of them, whenever you slid them up, then it showed the camera?
Yeah.
And like the camera portion of it was the fucking thickness of the phone, because obviously the big sensor. And then the wee shiny bit beside it, and that was the mirror, so you could take a selfie.
Yeah.
Before selfies were a thing. There was no obviously front facing camera on it. But seen that, like, so that, and then the last time Quinn's done her side was 2012, so I didn't even realise I took a couple of videos of it.
Yeah.
And then whole crop we
as
had
well.
done.
It's cool to have all that too, but
And excuse me, I never could find a photo of the polo I had years ago standard. All them photos were on it. There was
it's unreal to have all that, like.
So yeah, it's amazing what you can come upon randomly. And then old USB pens was alleged movies that allegedly were downloaded off DVDs or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Even now I have, because years ago I've obviously bought it, and you know, when Vimeo or something like that, there,
Yeah.
So I've Grassman and Green Fever now on my phone, as well as Westbound and Down.
Class. That's unreal, actually. What I was going to say was, if I was at home, I would have had a very action-packed Saturday, which would have been yesterday. Would have done the BRM lunch. You're wearing, I like to see you're wearing the Rev It Up hat as well, just to kind of support the boys. So, yeah, BRM did the lunch for their event coming up next year, 17th, 18th, 19th of July.
I could not get away to it. I was meant to go up, you know, on our behalf, but one thing led to another, just in the yard at home, and
yeah, I was
couldn't
in
get away.
Portugal, so that wasn't really going to work for me
It
either.
looked like a class day.
It did. It looked like an unreal day. I'm glad there's plenty of people went. I'm glad there's plenty of support. We'll probably be tying in with Stephen and the gang throughout the year anyway, and the lead up to it. So, you know, there'll probably be the odd night from trackside or something, you know, things like that. A few videos from that there, you know. So we'll be staying involved with that.
And they've mini tractor pulling as well.
Yeah, I know, it looks class. So
The wee sled is cool as fuck. Like.
it's going to be a game changer, and it, even for what it is going to be, it'll be a proper festival, as they've said.
3-day event this next year.
Yeah, I would say it'll probably be something similar, though, with the Friday night. More of just arriving down and maybe like a few beers and stuff like that, to be honest. But I'm not sure. Stephen could be like, nope, you're wrong, actually we're going for 3 full days, and I'll be like, oh shit, okay, fair play.
You're driving one of the days.
I'd like to have my tractor at it as well, all been well.
Yeah, I don't mind sitting in the Fiat. Just might need to open the door all the time and go
The other thing then, I would have probably have dipped off to Tyrone after that. So
yes,
it's always a good night.
jealous I couldn't go to it either.
Yeah, Tyrone's always a really good night. I always really enjoy going to Tyrone.
Dwayne McKeever, some say if you want to put an egg on his manifold to fry it, it wouldn't even have fried it. It would have burnt it instantly.
Speaking of Dwayne, I never talked about it in the last podcast. Me and Dwayne went silaging.
Field hoovering?
Yeah, I was coming back from a thing from work, and basically I was away down the country, and I was coming back. I was later in the evening, but it was still about daylight.
I'm laughing because it literally took you 20 seconds to go,
Yeah, you're guilty of that yourself.
I am.
Doesn't stop the fact I'm doing it now right enough. And I sent Dwayne a snap, and I goes, you still at grass? Because I'd seen him in the morning behind me. Yeah. I sent him a snap going, Dwayne out doing big laps in the TM, and he sent me a message going, I'm for drawing silage. I goes, if you're about later, I goes, I might call in with you. So I sent him a snap and goes, you still about? He goes, yeah boy, still here. So I ended up jumping on the tractor with Dwayne.
Well, how was Dwayne?
Dwayne's a natural born driver. Dwayne was like, this is only my second or third time drawing grass, and he was following his own loads beside the harvester. Just knew where to go, where to be. Shit that I overthink. He was just like, yeah, we could just do this, we could do that, and then just drive. And he's like, I don't know, I don't like really sitting beside the harvester. I'd rather just like drive back and forth and fill my own load. And I was like, fucking hell, it's hard enough for me to even figure out what to do. And he was like, I just started the front, sort of work my way back, and then, or whatever it was he said, and then I just goes, okay, fair. We were right beside a class 880, the old school 880.
Oh yes.
He was in the TM with a 14-ton Hearn,
18-foot Hearn.
yeah,
Classic Hearn.
yeah. So that was a good day's crack, to be fair. That was crack being in with him. But yeah, you just reminded me of that whenever I was coming through. But yeah, no.
Will he come on to the pod, maybe?
Yeah, I think he will. Yeah, I think he will at some point. Now Tyrone's over, he doesn't really have much of an excuse, so we're coming for you, Dwayne. It's going to happen.
What's that fucking noise?
Hello?
Possibly.
Hmm. 28 minutes. Fuck, still need to get on the topic. I'm not quite sure what happened there. We heard funny noises, went out and checked, there was nothing there. So
Yeah.
I think the place is haunted again. But yeah, no, Tyrone looked to be savage crack.
Dillon Garvey won it.
Yeah, Dillon Garvey, then Dara Spencer,
Yeah.
and then Dwayne. Dillon Garvey really is Dwayne's kryptonite, like.
Like, does he always beat him?
Well, actually, to be fair, I actually can't comment if Dillon beat Dwayne this time round or if it was.
Oh, he did.
They did, yeah. Aye.
I think he got him the semi-final or the top four.
Yeah.
As far as I remember. But
Dillon Garvey's some pilot too, like.
since he's rebuilt that car, he's won everything he's won in now, I think.
Yeah, no, he's a great driver. I'd love to see him do Drift Masters again. I think he deserves it.
Oh,
He deserves
definitely.
it. There's like Dwayne and like the Shannons and like, to be fair, even Conor, Falvey, like the natural talent in this country is just phenomenal. Like,
Oh, and whenever they say they do so many laps in a simulator,
yeah, I can't even drive a simulator. I suppose we Ken talked about that in the last podcast, and I took it all out for reasons that I'll actually now explain. Because I'm going to surprise you with something here now. Because I think you'll enjoy this segment, and if you don't, I'll be fucking raging. But yeah,
so what you're saying is you better just take it and like it.
Yes.
Okay.
I got it. I caught a lot out of the last podcast. Something about me and Conor. We've quite different senses of humours. So although we can converse incredibly well, I have a very dark, warped sense of humour. Whereas you would have a more, I would kind of say, American Pie style kind of humour, but more like I'm self-confessed prude. Like, I don't really find sexual stuff funny. In fact, it nearly makes me awkward. Like, I'm just a wee fucking prude. Like, like Becca calls me Father Michael. You know, because I'm so fucking straight edge. Like, but then I find dark humour really funny. Whereas you probably, I would say, nearly a bit more. Your humour's a bit more laddie. Does that make sense? Yeah, I feel like you could go on a trip with a group of like proper "Oi, lads," and you would probably find them a lot funnier and have the crack better than I would. I think I would get quite awkward.
Okay, yeah.
The reason why I talk about this is I got a racing sim recently called a Thrustmaster, and Conor and Adam as well, actually, in fairness, both went into fits of laughter. And then I was sitting going, like, why are you finding this funny? I'm trying to talk about my racing sim. And then I started mentioning gear knobs, and the pair, Adam and Conor, were splitting themselves. And then you can just see me getting, like, really annoyed because they keep taking the piss out of me. And I'm like, because we just have different senses of humour. So, I'll not talk too much about the racing sim. We'll talk about that another day. What I can tell you at the minute is I'm shit at it. But, Conor, this is episode 69.
It is.
It is.
Yeah.
So, we can't not talk about something fucking sexual or something like that. I mean, so, this is a car podcast, and I'm not trying to get us cancelled, but I did look up different kinks people have in terms of cars.
What the fuck?
And I never told Conor I was going to do this.
You know what I thought you were going to say?
What?
I researched. Great. Great, spots.
Yeah.
Where people go to be quiet.
Just.
And I was like, all right. Did you trip the visor out or what?
We're coming on. The first thing is mechanophilia, attraction to machines. So it's basically a paraphilia where someone
is
feels...
this like people getting married to their cars and stuff?
Yeah, people get in a relationship with cars, people getting aroused by cars, etc. There was one guy in America claims to have had sexual interactions with 700 vehicles. I think they actually talked about him in Top Gear at the time. Edward Smith is his name. 700 plus. I think his...
Edward Blue.
Edward Smith.
Edward Blue.
Edward Blue has load.
No, you don't get it? Edward Blue.
No.
I wonder, did he do 700 in 12 hours?
No, I would never actually. See what I mean? I would have put two and two together with that one. But apparently his favourite was a VW Beetle called Vanilla. Yeah. You see people taking there are some people, I've seen people like putting up pictures where like they have like their arm around their car, and I'm like, check his hard drive.
You have a fairly emotional attachment to your Sierra.
Absolutely, and to the 11090, but nah, it doesn't go that.
Bag is safe.
Bag is safe for now. Bag is safe for now. Number 2, objectophilia. Emotional or sexual attraction to specific objects. Some focus on a single car or a brand. So people would often describe that they have this energy or a personality in a vehicle, and this can overlap with like spiritual or synesthetic beliefs where they believe the car has a soul. So Erica Eiffel, famous for marrying the Eiffel Tower, also admitted attraction to vehicles.
The person
that married the Eiffel Tower.
How the fuck does that even be a thing?
I don't know, it's France, so like...
You know, how do you put it, like, be bigger...
Imagine trying to get the Eiffel Tower up yourself, like... This is something going.
God help the person in the gift shop, anyway. No one would be safe in there.
No.
Oh my God.
That would... Yeah, no, that would be...
It would hurt probably as well.
I would have thought so. I would have thought it wouldn't really be... There's easier things, I reckon, you could... Yeah.
The actual Eiffel Tower, in fairness, is the apartment up the top of it.
Has it?
Aye, there's a room up at the top of it where your man that designed it. There's an elevator and all up to it, I'm near sure, yeah.
Maybe there is, actually. I didn't know that. I've only seen it once.
I can't mind a film, but there was a film, and probably know that this particular individual would enjoy living up in there.
Interesting.
You know,
anyway, so someone who married the Eiffel Tower also felt attractions to cars.
God help her. See, I don't know. I've never been to Paris.
Or him.
Never been to Paris, but God help her, or God help that individual.
Paris
if there was vehicles driving by the Eiffel Tower.
So you can also get car interior and vibration fetishes. So Some people feel they're attracted either to vibration from engines, seats, or gear sticks. So some people feel arousal from sitting in idling cars.
They wouldn't need a massage seat anyway.
No, but apparently it's a thing where if you hear like the chop of like a V8, say like a certain car idling, it's almost like a arousal thing. Which...
So what you're saying is, in a particular individual, if somebody had a good sound system like a subwoofer and a massage seat and they were driving, just stay clear.
I mean, definitely vibrating seats. It's more to do a thing with the mechanical thing rather than actually, like, you know, like a subwoofer, for example.
No, I know you're being deadly serious. I'm just trying to have a laugh with it.
Oh, this is where the sense of humour differs, you see, folks. Because I don't even pick up what you're saying. I'm not saying that as a critique. It's literally you're saying, "Go, Michael, why are you not laughing at this?" And I'm like talking away, being deadly serious. I am trying here, Connor. I'm trying. I'm trying, man. I'm sorry, but no. This is what I mean. I'm so factual. I'm so serious. Like, anyway, go on.
No. That was all. Like, it's
look. Have there been instances where we've had the subwoofer going before and been told not to turn it off by passengers?
Has there?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, the sound quality is just fantastic.
Incredible. Yeah, that's definitely what they were. That's
you know, the feeling of your hair vibrating.
Aye.
Was it fantastic?
Yep, that's exactly what it was. That's what absolutely. I couldn't have said it better myself. The hair vibrating was exactly what I was thinking too.
Now, neither of us would have... What do you call that? With the vibrations and all?
I don't
is
think
it objectophilia or something?
No, that's just a particular fetish that people have for, like, literally vibrating while a car's idling, the vibrations that go through your car while it's idling, and like you feel it through the seat and stuff. Apparently this is something
I don't know what's worse, the fact that we're talking about this, or the fact of I am trying not to imagine any of these things in my head right now whilst we talk about this. Because, you know, naturally, you know, you'd be like, how? And your brain's like, who? What would that actually look like? And you're like, no.
It gets worse.
Fuck me. Hey. No, don't.
All. Hey, in fairness, it may be better than some of the shit I'm reading off this. The next one is...
Well, at least you got that joke. Well, I don't think you made it, but it's good.
The next one is olfactophilia. Petrol, oil and exhaust fetishes.
I mean, like...
Fetish for smells associated with vehicles. Petrol, diesel, burnt rubber, brake fluid, etc.
Well, I think anybody gets you shouldn't sniff petrol.
No.
But, I think anybody, if they sniffed it for long enough, would feel different.
Aye. To be fair, you're scientifically speaking, yes, you're quite right there. It would probably
that's
fuck
why
you up.
You don't
No, that's why it's probably not a good idea. There's a thing, this is off topic, but there's like a drug in Russia, and like even...
This is actually, to be fair, you've actually, if I'm being honest, you've researched something. There's something different to talk about. And, like, it's funny, you said, oh, sure, we'll rattle this out in half an hour or so.
Yeah.
It's amazing whenever you do a bit of research, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, good personal friend ChatGPT to thank for this one. Like, to be fair, like, I didn't write this shit down, although it did have to ask quite a few prompts to get me to where I wanted to be. But yeah, there's a thing in Russia,
and I have to give you a wee prompts to where, but apparently I want you to be.
Yeah, apparently so. That's just because like as I said, I'm so oblivious. But yeah, there's a drug that's called crocodile in Russia for people who can't afford to buy heroin. So basically, it includes petrol. And when you inject it into yourself, it basically causes your skin to go scaly, and that's why they call it crocodile, because it makes your skin look like a crocodile and basically just kills you. Vice done a thing on it years ago. Yeah. Anyway, that's not a fetish. That's just a drug. Did you hear a noise again? It's the cow out there.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So apparently some also fetishize oil or grease, like tactical play with motor oil or lubricants. Just stick to the normal stuff you can buy folks. It's not that.
I don't you think led us down this rabbit hole, lad.
Don't think I'd want to go anywhere with the EP2. Like,
what's EP2?
Grease.
Oh no,
like lithium grease EP2. So apparently it's just a sensory thing, a sensory fetish. People just fetish themselves being covered in motor oil, which again, don't do that. That's really dangerous.
Well, I suppose you have 50 shades of grey and you have 50 grades of oil. I didn't think that would be funny in your eyes.
Wait to hear this. Crash fetishism. Symphorophilia. Arousal from car crashes or destruction.
I feel like this has turned into like a counselling session.
Often about the power and danger aspect, not necessarily wanting harm, but being turned on by like the adrenaline. If that's your thing, and you come and meet me on the road, please don't let me be the one you choose to have that fetish with. Just please drive past me. I do not want to be part of your crash thing.
Or just go into bumping cars.
Yeah. Or banger racing.
Just do it after 9 p.m. when no kids will be about.
It's yeah. Another one is leather. Like leather fetishes and stuff. So like leather seats and all that. That's a common enough thing, actually.
I would have, well, not with leather seats, but I would have said probably for a lot of folk. Yeah.
Yeah, but apparently a lot of people get like turned on by like a leather gear stick or an Alcantara gear stick, or like the way the seats are designed and stuff. According to ChatGPT here, some people even collect steering wheels or old seats for sensory reasons. At least they're not sniffing them. Know a couple of boys who would sniff seats of certain people if they got a chance. And finally, voyeurism.
Right.
Also known as dogging.
Oh.
That's actually what dogging is. That's what dogging is. Voyeurism. It's the whole idea of it is a fantasy of basically where you're in like a semi-public area, so you can possibly get caught, but also not get caught, and apparently that's like a big thing. I don't know. Dogging's not really something I'm into. If you listen to the Reload podcast, you'll hear of it. There's quite a few dogging spots in this country. And Conor McCann from the last podcast, he talks about going to a certain place. I think it's called Oxford Island outside.
That's right.
And apparently he like pulled up there. He tells a story in Reload podcast. It's so funny. He landed there because it's a really nice car park to take pictures of his new. He got a TT there as a daily, and he wanted to take pictures of it. And the next thing, like this other car just pulled up. And it's like the man started like asking him questions and stuff like that there, and then Conor just turned around and goes, right, are you looking to have sex with me? And your mom was just like, no, of course not, absolutely not. And Conor's like, Conor wasn't obviously wanting the dog, he was just there to take photos, but apparently it's a real spot for that.
You'd assume though that the other person would have had someone in the car with him.
No, I think the whole idea is that you pull in there and there's another car sitting, and then if they approach and you know what's what, it just happens. It's not a scene I'm familiar with, Conor, if I'm brutally honest with you. The fact that I'm even talking about this in the pod and putting it in the open is even a big deal for me, because I'm not really that good with this kind of stuff.
Because I would have assumed, now, wrong of me to assume, but you would have thought that person had another individual in the vehicle with them.
No, but I think that, as I say, the whole idea is, I think the general consensus in that area is if you go to that area, to that certain part of the car park, it's like if you pull up, it's like, that's like nearly like a code.
But
kind of like an upside down pineapple or something like that.
Would that be like a swinger get together?
Aye, but it's in a sort of a somewhat public place. Whereas obviously a swinger gathering is like maybe a hotel or a certain house or something like that, given by all like the random signs of like, as the mentioned upside down pineapple. I think this is a particular like what's what code. Why
am I even thinking of like?
I don't really know I don't really know the whole thing behind dogging. Do you?
I don't. No. No, not in any way, shape or form. All that's going through my head at the moment is, Jesus, would you imagine the likes of a Cars and Coffee for swingers?
Oh my good God. What would a Cars and Coffee be like for swingers?
I don't know.
And over here, actually, don't look over there. We'll just go, and maybe don't go over there as well. It would honestly, it would just, yeah.
Do you want to take this car for a spin?
Try out the suspension. Test the seats.
Indeed.
Yeah. Feel some of the gear knobs and leather and all that stuff.
You can even drain some of the lubricants.
Get covered in some oil. Get yourself greased up. Yeah.
This is not what I expected to be talking about.
But it is episode 69.
Yes.
So
yes.
I got it on point. As I said, I originally wanted to have like a comedian or something on, because the reason I was actually thinking of someone like Paddy McDonnell, because he was a black taxi driver, and then I was thinking black taxi, fake taxi, that might work. But yeah, to be honest, as times went on, I haven't even thought about even trying to approach it. I don't think we'd be in the position where we would get someone like Paddy McDonnell, but that was originally what I'd written down.
Well, Gareth Galt was good enough to come on.
Yeah, true, and I guess people that's probably big enough within our circles are probably happy to come on, but yeah. You can let us know what you think about. Some people listening to us might be absolutely repulsed.
Just slightly.
Just slightly. As you can tell, I'm not very confident about talking about that kind of stuff. So if that was the two Johnnies, they'd be
we don't want to get cancelled, so we're not.
But if it was the two Johnnies, they'd be like, right, let's talk about swingers. Woo! Let's go.
That's why I was like, this feels like a topic from a two Johnnies podcast or something.
Yeah, yeah, but that's because they've spent so much time recently talking about swingers.
Have they?
Yeah, that's why I know so much about that whole... like the pineapples and all that stuff. That's where I learn all that shit.
Well, there you go. If anybody wanted your little dose of weird,
fetishism.
So there you go, folks. If you ever wanted your limited set differences dose of filth, now you have it.
You can let us know what you think about that. If that's something that you think we could do at all. If people were to find it funny, I would take another stab at it again and research it a bit better and be a bit more confident with it myself.
We're not going to have a Cars and Coffee.
We're not going to have a swingers Cars and Coffee. No, that's not going to happen. No, that's just not going to happen. I don't even know how to cut away this to talk about Al Dillon. So anyway, talking about swingers, Al Dillon. He's not a swinger, I think. No, but he is quite OCD. So I guess going from one sense of Joe, I don't even know how to cut away that at all. So our guest this week is
Al Dillon.
Al Dillon. I was going to say good friend of the pod, but Al has genuinely supported the pod from day one. He was he has a savage collection of Fords, has had a savage collection of Fords. Al was someone who I had lined up from the day in the podcast first started, because he's the next generation up of me and you. I
would have said he was the tail end of
the Max Power era, so he has all the stories to recount from that. And just to be honest, great conversation. Great lad.
And he made some drag up the road just to come to it.
And came up and was more than happy to do it. So fair play to him, and we absolutely loved talking while. And as I say, sometimes don't get me wrong, it's great to have the big guests, but sometimes just the regular people like ourselves have some of the best and greatest stories to tell, and some of the best experiences. And I think Al's a perfect example of someone who you could literally just sit and talk to all day and all night and all through the next day. The man's just full of conversation. He's so pleasant. Car shows or whatever, he just so happy to do his thing, has the coolest stuff. You'll hear all about it in the pod. So you're going to hear a couple of advertisements, because this is where I'm pushing them in at with our sponsors. And then you hear Al in 3, 2, 1.
So Michael, before you go to drift days in the Sierra, what do you do?
Bold of you to assume it's working, but if it is, I'd probably go to CDM Sport, and even if it wasn't, I would still go to CDM Sport to get parts, because Conor can provide like all the custom bits for your car. So anything from ECU bits to clutch bits to brakes to literally anything you need, you can get.
Drift car, performance car specialist. Get on the cdmsport.life.
Adam,
Yes.
you like cleaning cars?
I do, yes. Anything but yours.
Yeah, that's fair. But if you were cleaning,
Yep.
what would you use?
Well, a bit of JTech kit.
Oh, lad. How would you do it? How would you go about doing it?
Well, we start off with a bit of citrus pre-wash. Pristine 360 if it really needs it.
Agri spec, yes, proper, yeah.
Chuck on a bit of snow foam, get it rinsed off, get the shampoo going, and then top it off with some ultra wax.
Deadly. Does he do anything else?
Tons of stuff, lad. Get yourself on the JTech chemicals.
Plenty of good stuff there, like.
It's just JTech kid. Get in your head.
So we have Al Dillon was here. Al, you've kind of like supported us from the beginning. You have been fucking class with
Day
like
one, I think.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah, even before you were kind of like literally thinking about it, and you were texting me. We were having the chat, and you were like, "We're thinking about doing a podcast." I was like, "Don't think, just do it."
Yeah.
Just do it. Because there was nothing really around back then. See, we were listening to kind of other podcasts, but nothing like this.
Yeah.
You know.
And to be fair, there are like, you know, there's a couple of other podcasts as like, you know, kind of, I won't say similar to this, but not really.
No
one really talking about drifting and farming and show cars and all kind of in the one.
And the one time he's tried to talk about trucks, but he hadn't got enough knowledge on it. I remember that one.
Yeah, I mean, I would still love to get. We have a couple of truck men lined up
I have a
at
little
some
bit
point.
of knowledge about it. My dad was a long distance truck driver for a long time, and then for a lot of time I was always away with him, and then when he came back and he was doing Irish stuff, so we used to work with Clark Transport was the name of it, and they were like forklifts and tractors.
Yes,
and
yes.
I think when Ford New Holland kind of first came out way back when, and we used to be delivering them all around the country. So I was 14, 15, driving these off a low loader straight brand new ones straight into the showrooms. So yeah.
So just because it's going to end up being a conversation that's going to go off in about 50,000 tangents. I just know that, even like us discussing pre this. So a bit of a rundown, I guess, in yourself. You're kind of you'd probably be the next generation up of, I guess, us.
Yeah.
Me and Conor kind of look at your generation and go, yeah,
well,
them,
the tail end of it. Yeah.
Them boys were the glory days. And I suppose we talked about this even, like, I mean, to be fair, probably should have had you on long before now, but
we were, this in fairness now, it was like,
how long have we been talking about having?
2 years, year and a half,
and
2 years.
I got you at Dubshed. But the problem is I got you because I was trying to find you at
got
Dubshed.
me at the end of it, and there was that many limiter bangs coming out of it. We literally couldn't talk.
You couldn't hear, and I think at the end we were just like, here, let's just wrap this up, because I had like, there was you and there was Owen Duffy as well. I've been looking for as well to record with, because I was like, I want to get these guys, because like obviously I'd kind of ate up who I wanted to speak to prior to, and you were one of them, and it just,
because that was only a fresh build.
Yeah.
That was literally finished Friday, drove up Saturday morning with a hope and a prayer that she'd make it.
So you just have so much better luck than I do.
That's why I seen it and it's only an hour up the road. So what can happen?
Not really all.
An hour and 10, I think, is all it is from me. Once I get onto the M1.
Should Belfast 30-40 minutes for us?
Yeah.
I know for us, we can do Dubshed in 40 minutes, but I suppose like you're in Dublin.
No, I'm on the
outskirts. You're not even like
Dublin. I'm in County Dublin. Really. Yeah. Like, I'm closer to Drogheda than I would be Dublin. 15 minutes to get me to Drogheda, 45 minutes to get into town, or half an hour on the M1 now, if you know what I mean. But I'd be closer to Drogheda. Where I live is, I'm literally the last town before you go into Louth, into Meath.
But it's funny, whenever you say like Dublin, you're like,
yeah.
So it's just good away, like.
Yeah.
But are you County Dublin?
County Dublin.
You are County Dublin.
Yeah.
But not actually.
Dublin, no.
Yeah, you don't have the proper North Dub accent.
The Scanger accent, no, far from it.
This and that.
I don't come across it.
See, I have family in Louth, like I have family in Dundalk, and then yeah. And
I didn't know that.
The difference between even a Louth accent and a Dublin accent.
I'm telling you, a Drogheda accent to a couple of miles up the road accent is completely different.
But like obviously when you're younger, you just think, oh, everybody just sounds like they all like all down the south. They all sound the same.
Every town, every city, every county has a different accent.
Well, sure. Like I was in Kilkenny years ago as a wee in, and it was, well, I was getting something in a clothes shop or that, and the woman behind the till was like, So what part of Scotland are you from?
I know they think we're Northerners, like.
Yeah.
But like,
That's no offense to Scottish people, but like,
but if you put like Jeremy Holland, yourself, and Parry Leonard, so that's, and then me or Conor in a room, so that covers basically all the county or all the provinces. You know, like all four of them.
Yeah.
Like all four accents are completely different.
Munster, Leinster, and Connacht.
Yeah, because Parry's obviously he's Roscommon, so I'm pretty sure that's Connacht. You're Leinster.
Yeah.
Jeremy's the fucking
Way down.
way down in Munster, way down.
he's bandit country.
Yeah,
He is actually
You have
bandit
to
country.
come to us, come with us someday to Jeremy's. He's a big car man too, big Ford man.
Oh, nice.
And he was kind of like the other end of what you've done. So you've been more show cars.
Yeah.
He had Volvo Sierras and twin cams, big Sierra man, and he's a Mark II Escort now.
Oh, nice.
So 2-litre Pinto. So if you ever do get the chance, just find yourself an end where you're just like, I'm just going to go to Cork, come to
I've
Jeremy's.
always been, Ford was always the main thing, because my brothers and his mates and all that were always kind of into Fords. My uncles back in the day had Mark II Escorts and that around the farms. So Ford was always my thing, but over the years
So whenever you were like a cub, because this is probably the best place to start actually. So when you were a cub, field cars.
Yeah, field cars was a big thing for me and the lads. So before I started farming with a couple of lads, before I could get the land to go out and prick around on most fields, if you know what I mean, myself and a couple of the cousins and friends, we'd all pitch in 20 quid, buy a 100 quid fucking car, and literally we'd have a field and we could wreck the thing. And that's how we all kind of got a little bit more mechanically minded. There was at one stage there was literally twine coming out of it, so there was onto the throttle cable because the cable snapped, if you know what I mean. So yeah.
But that is how you learn as a kid.
Yeah.
Like
That would have been back in 93, 94.
What was the first field car you ever bought?
I wasn't even born yet.
Was it? I think it was a Sierra, believe it or not. And then we'd Familias. We had.
Would it have been a Sapphire or would it have been like an 1.8 or a hatch?
Sapphire.
Really?
Sapphire, yeah,
Because I
Sapphire,
know a
yeah.
fellow who said like he was buying hatches for £50.
Yeah.
He says you couldn't sell a hatch.
No, they were for nothing.
Yeah, like you couldn't sell a hatch,
Yeah.
and at least Sapphires you could kit them.
I think one of the best ones we got now was an XR4i. That had a little bit of poke around.
Well, what
the field,
age
so
would a Sapphire or a hatch been at that stage?
They still would have been 10 years, 12 years old.
Well,
or maybe
the
more.
Mark ones would have been,
Yeah,
like,
they
the
would have
new-
been Mark ones. Would have been the earlier
what was a
versions.
hatch like? Was that geared toward? Was it more of a family car? Was the Sapphire a family car, or was the hatch?
Sapphire's a family car, and
Yeah.
the hatch was kind of like your more. Well, the hatch is more basic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Kinda? Well, you get gears in the hatches, so it's not really, but they're supposed to be more sporty.
Oh, the hatch was meant to be more sporty.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's kind of ironic.
it is.
They didn't sell that well. Or well, they must have sold well enough.
Oh, they sold well.
They did, but
They
there was
sold
that
really well.
many of them, and people were obviously going for something newer. They were relatively just around, and you could pick them up for feck all, so you could.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah.
Because probably back then, I would think new car prices. I think like back then, people I don't think held on to cars as long.
No.
Maybe they weren't as reliable. I don't know, but I feel like back then a car was 10-year-old. You were like, oh, time to get a new one. Now I look at a 10-year-old car and go, that's still pretty modern.
Yeah.
Your Golf's 2015, isn't it?
Is you're not getting it for £50 to go around the field?
Not now. It was different money back then, lads. So it was. You know what I mean? Like a lot of the cars that I bought back then were like 500-600 quid. A conversation we had the other night was like the Skyline I bought back in 2004, 2005. Like it was £8,000. If you had £8,000 back then in that time, you could get literally
Pretty much pick
fucking
anything.
you wanted that for £8,000 or less, and that was big money.
In that year, I think it was 04. Like the brother bought a brand new Mark IV. I think she was a PD 130 3-door, and she was 12 maybe. So like $8,000. Yeah, no, $8,000
Jesus,
was
that's
Like,
same.
you pick up
That's-
something nice, because back then, don't forget, like when we were getting all the imports in, before, obviously Ford was my first thing, Ford Level 1, like we were the first stop when any of the new Jap stuff was coming in.
I suppose it would have been, yeah.
back then, so there was a lot of Jap stuff coming in back then. A lot.
So how many years did you have field cars before?
Field cars would have been the age of 13, 14, probably 5 years was field cars. So then my first proper road car that I legally had on the road was an XR2i.
I want to get
But
it.
what we done with that was, back then you could swap engines. So obviously I couldn't get insured in the 1.6. So I put a 1.1 in it.
Oh,
So instead of going
Hold on. You had a 1.6 that you put a 1.1 onto.
1.1 in it, yeah.
Did you change the tax book or whatever?
Yeah, changed everything on it, yeah.
And then changed it to 1.6 whenever.
Later on, back in, I think 2 years later when I got my full
Did they have
license.
to do an inspection or anything on it back
no, it was a friend of mine had a garage and he could do the conversion and he could stamp it and he got
See,
it
I
done.
thought
So I
that-
literally went the legal way around it. But the funny thing was, I ended up, for my first insurance, the car was 500 quid. Right, so before I jump onto that part of it, so instead of buying a Mark III Fiesta and then putting XR2 or RS Turbo body kit on it, interior and that, I went the other way. So having a 1 litre standard car, I went and bought everything with all the electric windows, all the body kit, all everything on it, put the smaller engine in it, went to get insured on it, it still ended up having to pay 4,800 quid and have a tracker in it.
So,
Pound back
in
then.
theory, what you did was, say, you bought my Golf GTD and you stuck
A
either
1.6 straight diesel into it.
Yeah,
TDI
basically,
on it.
yeah. That was the only way I could get in the road back then when I was 18, 17, 18.
Was that more cost effective, technically, than buying the newer car?
Yeah. Well, I didn't.
kept
That's
it.
what I wanted. And one of my brother's mates was selling it, and it popped up for £500. I snapped it up
Yeah.
just like that. And the gas thing was, I think I put about 12 grand into that car over the years. That was the one that was modified motor magazines that I brought to.
I want to get on to all that in a bit.
Yeah.
But you did mention, and to keep this still very much LSD spec podcast, you did mention how you got. So you only told me this, like, despite how long I've known you, you only told me this when we were standing in the shed. You said you actually done a lot of farming.
Yeah, when I was younger, yeah.
So you to get the money for the cars.
Yeah.
Like farming, we look at kind of like Dublin as kind of like this. Like you've got great ground, a great like.
No, we look at Dublin and be like, city.
Yeah.
No,
city
no,
outskirt,
not where I
yeah.
was. When I used to work
Aye,
in,
but like-
Dunno.
I used to work in the quarries. Literally,
yes.
5 minutes from his.
But I did
lockup.
not, so whenever I think of Dublin, I just go, city.
Oh no,
You don't think about Dublin
No,
as...
as a farm, as an agricultural place.
no.
You think of
Oh,
Louth as
yeah.
agricultural and Meath,
No,
but...
from I think the age of 12, 13 till I was 20. That's what I done. That's how I earned a couple of quid for the cars and that. And then obviously I didn't drink until I was 25.
Oh seriously?
Yeah, no,
Oh.
I didn't drink until I was 25. I think obviously we had a couple when we were younger, if you know what I mean. But then when I first got insured, and it was that much money, so it was. No, I didn't drink until later on in the
Yeah.
years, if you know what I mean. But yeah,
Suppose like, yeah. And to be fair, if you weren't going to clubs or whatever, and
I
you're,
was, but
Oh,
I
were
wasn't
you?
drinking.
Or you?
I was the driver. I was
That was the
designated.
same as me.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
the
that
driver.
was the same
So
as
yeah,
me.
like I had 4 lads hopping into the back of the car.
Yeah.
We'd be driving everywhere, so we would.
That was the same as me.
Yeah.
Out of curiosity, what was the first main modification you've done? Take away the engine swap and that, to make the car cool back then?
I wanted to hear about the
would have
tractors.
been back then would have been a big bore exhaust on the back of a little
Big cherry bomb.
big cherry bomb. Yeah, you know, it'd be one of them on it and an induction kit on it.
Well, it was lowering back then, I think.
Oh yeah, like
Was it a
literally
thing?
60 springs, yeah, 60 springs.
coilovers.
What the coilovers was too expensive.
Oh,
then,
fair
but I
enough.
think it was a year later. I was one of the first Mark III Fiestas that had coilovers, but I was running 18s, so they were still right, or not 18s, 17s.
So it wasn't actually being about being low like nowadays it is. It was
No,
sort of
no.
just make it, look, the arch
Yeah.
gap,
Just
reduce
the
it.
arc cap. So it was all you could get back then was 30 springs or 60 springs, or if you wanted, you just cut the springs. You cut the standard springs down to
Wouldn't do that.
What brand of coilovers would have been big back then?
Sportex, I think was the name of
Oh.
it.
Really?
back then.
Sportex?
No, that's the exhaust.
Spax?
No, Spax. Yeah,
Spax.
Spax on that. Yeah.
Whenever I used to read Redline magazine back in the
Yeah.
day,
Oh, there's the thing. Magazines, lad. They used the magazines back then. Like you,
That
so you
was-
had Max Power, you had Redline, you had Fast Car, you had Fast Ford, Classic Ford, Performance Ford. Like they were the
so-
Bibles to me.
yeah.
Like I bought every single one of them. I think every month when they came out, there would have been 20, 30 quid dropped on magazines every
But I-
month.
I think back-
that's where you got all your information from.
absolutely.
That's like,
And you'd bought the Auto Trader.
yeah. Oh, the Bible. that was the Bible. So that was literally the Bible.
To be fair, anything in the Auto Trader, it was just
Yeah.
modified cars.
It was, yeah, meeting the lads down at McDonald's, down in Drogheda, to get your photos taken when you were selling the car a week later. Then it was out. So yeah, that's why we used to do it back then. Yeah, there was none of this Facebook Marketplace back then. So you were ringing your man. You going, is the car still there? Yeah, still available. You're I'm on my way.
Aye, because people now people just send you, is it still available? Yes.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Nothing.
It's just
Then-
like
then
tumbleweed.
absolutely nothing,
And it's
yeah.
like, all right, cool.
Before you go any further, how dear was a set of coilovers then? Whenever you had one of the first
I
set?
paid 1,800 quid for mine. back then,
fuck.
lad.
And that was
and
back-
these would have been just bog standard.
Was air
And that
or
was
hydro ever
Hydro, no. Hydro,
not
no.
really, no, not in the modified scene back then. No, there wasn't.
So-
You might have gotten one or two of like the proper max power
John Peden
builds
would have
that the
been doing
lads
that back
that the
then.
lads built in England. Not so much over here. You know, there would have been hydro. There would have been.
Hydro
the
was
ones, yeah,
more so
hydro
than
would have
air.
been back then for dropping cars. But bags, I don't even think bags were really out back then.
No.
It was more hydro.
and,
Or what we used to do back then was when you got to a show, you jacked the car up on four sides and you wound her down to the last and dropped it. Might have taken you an hour to do it, and then the same at the end of the show, you wound it back up to drive home. That's how we used to stance cars back in the day.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
Out of curiosity, was like 18s, would they not have been fairly massive in a
Oh,
way?
they were monstrous back then.
Was
18,
it-
like now they come on standard near and everything, but 18s was a big wheel.
And would
back
they have been
then.
like wolf races and stuff back
Yeah,
then?
Wolf races, Evo Rs, Stealths. You know what I mean? Oh, my first set of wheels for the XR2i that I had back was a set of Stealths. I think £100 I paid for them, and what, 20 quid a corner, 30 quid a corner
Were you
for
wearing the
tyres.
tyre size of that back then?
Shit, no, that would have been 195, 40s, 45s.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
fairly
I
stretched.
have a set of
isn't it?
stealths and Ford Fatman.
Yeah.
Lying down in the shed.
Stealths are deadly. I love Stealths.
I think they're
I
class.
think they're deadly.
I would.
Yeah.
For a long time, I had.
They're period correct.
I would love a 405 D turbo on
Yeah.
the other stealths or Cosy wheels. I think I
Aussie
would.
wheels, not
Yeah.
so
A
much.
Navy,
Stealths, yes.
Big bumper Navy 405, either GRDT
Yeah.
or SRDT, whatever you call the high spec one, decked on a set of either Cosy
I
wheels
think
or
is there not a
stealths.
black one knocking around now at shows at the moment? I think I have a picture on the phone. I seen it up at Auto Fest.
405.
Yeah, no, sorry, 306.
Yes.
Yeah, 306.
That was
There
a
is one,
dump
and
shed
that's on
earlier.
Stealths as well. And is that bagged or is that just wound
That-
down to the
that's,
last?
James the Gears out here.
Yeah.
MNK or something like that.
I am okay, yeah.
Like I said, I seen it at Auto Fest and then I seen it at LG Fest, and I was just, every time I walked by, I was just like, oh man, I love
There
them.
is a,
I
there's a
absolutely
grey there's a
love
grey
them.
one about at the minute, an Astra grey coloured one at the minute, and it's on hydraulics.
Is that Owen Ware's out here?
No, Maguire's old car is long in the scrap heap at the sky.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
David, can't remember his second name. David Rankin scrapped
So,
that
like,
years ago.
wheel bearings, I can mind seeing in a forum, now this is going back years ago, a girl with a Clio that she had 20s on it.
Yeah.
And just
Jesus.
went the wheel
Snap the wheel
bearings
bearings
every
couple of
fucking other
months.
month.
Yeah.
Just wheel bearings went for days because the wheel was so heavy. So
Basically, yeah.
it wasn't really about speed back then.
Oh no!
It was just about aesthetics.
How could you go fast when you had literally about 200 kilos worth of sound system in the back of it? Like back then, it was all sound systems, and
That's so cool. Like,
the body kits back then, they weren't body. They were just whatever lads thought up of. They were arches off something, but then they would have been moulded on. There would have been filler put on, flushed boots with half a ton of eyes upon in it. You know what I mean? Like there was literally, it was all slow and no go kind of back then. You had a couple of lads with nicer cars that could go fast, but when younger lads starting off, they were building it. It was like body kits, low sound system. Sound system was nearly kind of one of the first or second things you done
Oh,
back
fair
then.
enough, yeah.
Like my Fiesta, I had that stripped out completely at the back of it. I had two big 12 inches, I had two 10 inches, and then I had 6x9s, like tweeters everywhere. And
so I want to get on to the festival. I'm trying to do this in a chronological
I
order.
think I had about 6 or 7 of them over the years.
Connor wouldn't stop jumping in front of me. But no, the reason I was asking the farming is because you said you'd use that to get your money. And I didn't want to go back to the farming at the
Yeah.
end of the pod. So I know I keep trying to bring it back around. But the only reason I'm asking is you dropped only a couple of wee things about what you were doing, and I kind of just want to hear about more selfishly. So you were talking about the farming, like, and you worked with different contractors or
Yeah,
something.
it was 2 or 3 different farmers around our area, and I was just keen for driving. All I wanted to do was drive. You know, it was literally like that. And then me being a 15, 16-year-old that could drive, they were letting me go out, plough, rotivate, drive combines. Like literally, I was allowed to do most things on it. And the good thing about it was I could kind of fix a lot of the bits as well, because the mechanics were teaching me bits
What
and
would a
bobs to
lot of
fix
the
on them.
fleets have been back then?
They were all smaller end of things. I said, like, there would have been a lot of Case Internationals. I can't remember the technical numbers on them. And then there was a couple of big Massies that the lads had. They were savage jokes. And then the main farmer I worked with for a long time, he had the Moffat, that MFT.
That's the
brand,
yellow, basically
that
a
was the yellow
7840.
one. Yeah,
That's so cool.
Brand spanking new when he got it. It was gas. As I said, like you flipped the seat in it. You had the loader here. You had all your controls here in front of you. So you did.
You ever
and then
seen
you
one of them?
spin the seat again. Your gear stick changes over to the other. Like nothing.
Not in real life, no.
Just the seat changed around in it. And you
Yeah.
had like all the controls for the loader on the back of it, because that was the one we used to run in the pit when we were squashing silage and we were pushing the silage up, because that's the loader that he had. Mm-hmm. Then the other ones he had a 3050 4-wheel drive. That was the main ploughing tractor.
John Deere.
Moffat was done at John Deere, so that was the planter one as well. He only had a couple of units, if you know what I mean, a couple of tractors, but for the stuff we done back then, it was like I just loved driving everything. And then when I moved away from the lad I worked with for a few years, I went up onto your man with the internationals and the Massies. And that.
Mm-hmm.
He was a big spud farmer, so he was like literally shitloads of spuds. They had 600-700 acres of spuds.
Holy.
He had a lot of spuds back then. I think
A
he was
lot
a
of
Tato.
de-stoning.
He was like for Tato.
Yeah.
He
Oh,
was
okay.
like- yeah, basically Tato had him and another couple of other. I think Magali's was another name, and they had them contracted in as well. For basically, they grew spuds for Tato.
But where you live is actually a really I think it's a drier part of the country than what the rest of us get, isn't
I
it?
just put
Louth?
horrible, yeah.
Yeah, because Louth, part of Meath, Louth, and North Dublin's
Yeah.
all like this real dry belt. That's
And
where
then
Country Crest is, isn't
with
it?
all of like
Yes,
obviously-
like Country Crest should be around your
Yeah, Country
area.
Crest is literally so where I am, I'd say where then JC Auto Care is, he's 2 minutes up the road from that again. So it's literally 5 minutes away from me where Country Crest is.
Seriously?
Yeah,
Shit.
yeah,
Holy.
Have
But
you ever
then-
done the tour at Country Crest?
yeah. Yeah, well, it was way back when.
Oh, fair
Way
enough, yes.
back when, if you know what I mean. That was just one of the lads that brought me in, and I was like, it wouldn't have
Love
been
to
as big
do.
as they are now.
They're massive. I'd love to go.
Apparently the tickets go within the first hour or something.
Yeah, you'd
well-
want to go and see his collection.
Yeah.
So he opened up the shed good couple of years back now, just to see his private collection of Fords. You want to see the stuff he had in there. And then all
I
the
know.
newer stuff, then all the stuff that he uses, if you know what I mean. It's just
Even
serious.
a lot of classic stuff and all. Like,
Yeah.
oh no, it's class. Like I would love to get down.
He has easily 60 tractors there, so he has, and they're all just sitting there.
It's kind of a shame in a way, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just nice to
but at
somebody's
least there's-
preserving them.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you would do the same. In fairness, you can't drive all of them. Like,
Well, like, for instance, if you could, and say you had loads of money, you'd put the 110, you'd restore, you'd still probably use her, but she would be your complete nut baby.
Yeah.
She is your baby now.
no, if I had the 110, I'd probably actually in bank loads of money. I'd probably stick a lorry engine under.
No, but still.
Yeah.
Well, I would buy.
Ain't taming this bad boy.
Like I'd have a 40, but I would leave her in the. I would probably leave her in the shed. Draw slurry, draw silage, bit of fun on her, maybe so a bit for like she'd be.
Yeah.
But like if anybody dirtied her, I'd go mad.
Oh yeah.
You know.
The official, non-official sponsor of the podcast.
Yeah.
We need to get a Monster Energy sponsorship.
That would be
that'd be
amazing.
great.
That'll
like-
keep me awake now for the 2-hour drive home.
See, I'm not, because I have to get up so early in the morning to get the flight to Bradford. I know, horrible. I'm not, because I know
I'll
I'll
still
still be.
sleep.
Normally I would too, but I know whenever I get home tonight, I'm going to be like, oh, I really need to get sleep, and then my body will go, but you had an energy
Yeah.
drink, even though I'd be sitting on here and I'd be starting to go, like,
Yeah.
you know,
I don't want to be hitting Banbridge and then near Dundalk. And
No
be like,
worse feeling. Especially if
the
you
Norton
if you
Head.
pulled
I
over
only
and-
work 15 minutes away, and when I do night shifts, a 12-hour night shift, I'd be coming home on the motorway, and I'd be like, your eyes would be going like this, and you're like, fucking hell.
But everybody's got a stage. Like for me, 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock slump.
Yeah,
3
I
o'clock
am
slump.
yeah.
fucked at 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
Aye.
But even the time we drive.
My
home
3
from-
o'clock for me, that's the changeover, that's the shift change. So lads will do 7 to 3 and then 3 to 11. So that's kind of where I can get a little bit of.
When you say night shift, do you mean just 3 to 11, or would you do 11 to 7?
No, 7 to 7. 12-hour shifts is
Oh.
what I do. It's just all 12-hour shifts. So I don't mind, I prefer 12-hour shifts. You're in, you get it done. It's 3 days, that's my week done.
It's exactly the same
Then
as
I get a
that.
couple of days off then. That's how I can go up to the garage and I can spend a couple of days flat out at.
What do you actually do, Al? If you don't mind me
Me,
asking?
I work for, I'm cargo supervisor
Oh,
in
right.
the airport. So all the cargo, basically 90% of the cargo or 8% of the cargo that
Dublin
would
Airport?
travel through airport, Dublin Airport is our companies look after.
So if you ever lose a bag,
No, nothing got to do with bags. Nothing
But if
got
you
to do
lost
with
a set of
passengers.
wheels.
It's just cargo. Yeah. Oh yeah, I see a lot of wheels coming through. A lot of work wheels now coming in for Garage D.
Oh,
so they
yes,
will come
yes.
through our company. So they will, and I take extra
but if
special
you lose a
care of
bag, you
them.
have a contact. Maybe no.
Oh no, I wish I did, and none of them would fit on my cars, unfortunately. But
don't
yeah,
know
no,
if any of
it's been
that's
it's weird. It's different now. So it is. So I'd be a screener. I'd be an X-rayer.
Oh,
That'd be one
right,
of my
yes.
main jobs on it. So.
Do you ever find anything mental?
Yeah, there's been
Without revealing too much
Yeah.
AP or confidentiality, has there been anything you've looked at and went, oh shit?
yeah, there's been a few things. All right.
Anything that shouldn't be there.
Possibly, maybe, yeah. I think we'll go on away from this topic.
Very much so.
Sorry, boss. If you see this, I didn't say anything.
I completely understand. Like, so the fireman then, as you say, got your money. First car was a Mark III Fiesta.
Yeah, Mark III.
Were they before the Bubble Fiesta?
Pardon?
Were they before the Bubble Fiesta?
No, Bubble Fiesta was Mark IV.
So yours was the boxier one?
Yeah, the boxier one. Yeah, the one that I have now. You know, the grey one I have now at the moment.
Out of curiosity, did you ever see the build that a fella in England did? A green one with a...
Yes, I followed that, and that's the Mark III. So it is with the cosy whale tail on it, the big massive. Yes, that's a proper max power build.
Because I seen that, and I thought that was
he bought that like it was in rag order, and I followed that build, and I said everything that he'd done to it wasn't for the purists. I fucking loved it. I loved it.
To be fair,
the sound system, the wide arch kit on it, the cosy whale tail line. That's a proper like Sierra 3-door cosy whale tail he put in. It's not a
not a rep,
not an Escort one. It was a Sierra one that he put on. That's a Sierra.
No.
No, sure, it's a Sierra one. Yeah, because it has the black lip on the back of it. So, yeah.
So you said earlier that you actually detuned it, so to speak, and when you detuned it, you literally swapped in a lesser engine.
How much horsepower did the 1.1 have?
I think
50?
70 maybe.
Oh, she could go there.
It could rev out. It wouldn't go. She'd rev.
I had a 1.1
She sounded well with the cherry bomber.
So then, like, you know, you're a young cub, you turn out.
Yeah, 18, so that would have been 2000.
So Al has his first, it's the year 2000, the world hasn't ended. We've now just come into a new millennium. Life's probably not bad. Colin McRae 2 Rally was out.
It was,
Crash Bash had just come out. So it's a
Need for Speed Underground was out?
Yeah.
No.
I'm a big gamer as well. No, I love me gaming.
What was it, 2 maybe?
No, that was 2002.
Gran Turismo would have been
The
one of the
Gran
first Gran
Turismo 3
Turismos.
came out in 2001. So, okay, Gran Turismo 3
For a man that's not
maybe,
really a gamer.
was,
Okay.
but
No, I think
Rain Man
even
did.
this morning when I got up before I went anywhere, I was literally straight on. I was doing laps of Mondello and Drift X. I absolutely love Drift X, but it's not
Drift
a Drift
X?
car. Yeah, and I was a Drift X.
Car X?
Yeah,
Oh,
Car
Car
X.
X.
Sorry, Car X, yeah. So yeah, it's not drifting around. I was doing laps in, I think it's the Subaru. That's in it, but I can get that around in 128 now at the moment. I have a Ghost on it, and not for love nor money can I beat it now. I cannot beat it. I'm trying every different line, different angle on it. So
do you have a wheel or do you?
No, I'll just go control.
I bought a
I've
wheel.
always been a gamer. Love me games.
Oh,
But
Yeah.
so that-
PlayStation or Xbox?
Always PlayStation.
PlayStation
there you
1 too.
Yeah.
The reason, but I'll get on this in a bit once we talk about because this is likely where the story will naturally progress. But Al he's 18, the year's 2000, and you've earned a big wad of money from working for a farmer, probably doing like.
Would it have been a big wad of
No,
money,
of course
though?
it wouldn't, but 130 hour weeks probably for.
I think it was like a $5 an hour or
Yeah.
something like that.
That's not bad for...
It wasn't back.
But you'd have
I
been
know, it
doing
wasn't.
massive hours
before
back then.
that, it was like fucking Jesus Christ, what 40, 50 fucking quid a week. You know what I mean? The lads were like, I didn't care back then. You know what I mean? At
Yeah.
the start of it was more so getting out, earning a bit of pocket change, because obviously back then would have been, mum and dad didn't really have that
Yeah,
much,
oh,
if you
no,
know
of
what I
course,
mean.
yeah, of course.
So, because all my older brothers were the same as me. They were out, one of the lads was a milkman, one of the lads, they were fishermen, if you know what I mean. So
Yes.
we all didn't get anything. Like, there was no daddy's or mammy's money back then. If you wanted something, you had to go out and earn it for yourself. There was,
So you
if I wanted something or a new computer or something like that, I couldn't wait for Santi to bring it to me.
yeah.
If I wanted something, I had to go out
You
and
were
work
doing
for
it?
it and earn it, and I
Yeah.
wanted it, and I had the mentality to go out and do it. I didn't mind working, putting in, like, obviously it would have been after school in the evenings, and then it would have been weekends, and then flat out all summer.
So, but like you've just got the Mark III, and what, if you can remember, but you probably can. So the first thing you done, you're like, I'm going to modify this. What was the first thing you done? Stealth. So
Yeah.
you bought wheels.
Yeah.
Yeah. So did you buy the Stealth second hand? Did you buy
Yeah,
the new-
second hand.
Second hand.
Second hand.
So they're...
But they were still good enough. They were relatively new. There was no marks, no scratches on them, you know what I mean? But still picked them up.
What size?
15.
15 inch.
They would have been 14s originally on it, and they were a horrible wheel on an XR2.
Were they pepper
XR2?
pots?
No, that was XR2s, the Mark II, and pepper pots. So this one had, like, they were a horrible wheel. They were like a hubcap.
Oh, I know the one you're on about, yeah. Oh, they're not.
They were a cat.
Yeah,
They
they're
were
not.
horrible. And the tyres were shit on it as well.
So you bought wheels, then what was it?
Well, I only had them on it for a while, and then when I really had a vision of what I wanted to do, it would have been up to what was that place up in RD?
Oh, here, no idea.
What was the name of the company up in RD? They had the small, tiny little shop went up there. I bought a set of Team Dynamics. There would have been a 6-spoke white wheel for it.
Team Dynamics. That is now. That's a kind of like a Max
They
Per
were
wheel.
15s as well.
Okay.
And then when I think 2 years later, I had an opportunity back then. Hibernian were doing an advanced course.
Okay.
So I could go on this advanced course. So this was you and another guy and the instructor. And you went out and you were brought around, like literally it was nearly all day you were out with them. It was half a day for you, half a day for the other person.
Yep.
I was lucky enough when I done it, there was someone meant to come with me. So it was just me one-on-one.
Yes.
So when we were out, like literally...
Was this in your own car?
no, this was in... I think was this in my own car? No, I actually don't believe it or not. Here's another story. I actually done my full test in that XR2. XR2i, so I actually done my full test now, but that was a different story. So when I done the advanced course, because I was on a learner's permit, when I done the advanced course with Hibernian, you were out. So when you were driving along, you had to commentate on what you were doing. Well, I'm driving up here, I'm coming through an estate, I'm watching out for kids that are coming by, I'm coming up to the T-junction, I'm stopping, I'm slowing.
Didn't you?
I was about to say, yeah.
Yeah, so you were kind of that. So anyway, I passed that, and that brought my insurance on the second year from 4,008 down to 2,002. Still pound, still punt back then. So that was brilliant. So passed that, got me full license, got me test, and then I was away. And then as soon as I got me test, straight on to them, right guys, can I put 1.6 back into the car? Yeah, no problem. What about a turbo? Oh, turbo doesn't make a difference. It's the CC. And I went, oh, lovely. So literally, then what happened? I had the XR2i engine to go back into it. I said, no, I wanted a turbo into it. So I said, right, what am I going to do here? I ended up back then onto the Bible, into the auto trader, buy and sell. What popped up? A black RS turbo that was in Enniskillen. So I got my brother in his Porsche 944.
Oh.
He had one back then, yeah. We drove up in the evening. So like this as well, it was just absolutely dark. I bought it in the dark. I thought I was getting a great deal, £1,800 back then for that car. It was brilliant, so it was. I got it back home, brought it down to my garage mate, Glenn. He's the one who really got me into mechanical end of things. He taught me a lot of stuff that I know. First thing he done was he pulled up the carpet in the boot. Absolutely rotten. When I say rotten, it was rotten. I was like, I wanted to try. I was going to say, you know what, I'll keep the other one. I had two cars then. I had two Mark III Fiestas then. So what I ended up doing was pulling the engine out of that, putting it into the red one, and we scrapped that.
Yeah.
Got rid of it. Took everything that I needed off it. Went up to a scrapyard a couple of minutes up the road from us, Joe's place. And over the 2 years that I was there, nobody wanted anything off it. I went up if I needed something went off, something broke on my own, I could go up and I had a donor car, but I was up in a scrapyard.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that went into it, and then that's where the big money started coming out. That's when the coilovers come in, all the chrome stuff, like the paste double capacity intercooler, the chrome charge cover, chrome rocker cover, chrome suspensions top, struts, like literally anything you could buy. Spec R had everything you wanted.
That is absolute Max Per. Like if you see, if I see that now, if I see that on a Cosworth, a Sierra Cosworth now,
my one, like
yours is tasteful.
Yeah,
there's some.
There's some.
But if the thing is, what I have to appreciate is that, and I don't sometimes not good enough at doing this because I look at that and go, that's not how I do it, which is rich coming from me, considering I give off about how Sierra boys give off at me all the time about how I do things. But I think I have to catch myself and realise that this boy probably built this car in 2004 when Tiger Stripes, as wank looking as they are, were a thing back then, and like all the chrome and like the weird coloured Samco
like
hoses
I was
and all.
OME plus, but kind of back then, well I kind of am now, but back then it was a little, well, I flushed the boot in it. I put focus side repeaters in it. Like you couldn't put focus side repeaters in it, so I had to cut it and modify it. Obviously, stick that in. Laguna front splitter. Obviously, I don't think a Laguna ever had a Laguna front splitter at one stage. I think they were all
the production line, and there was some 18-year-old
so
rubbing it off.
Mondeo Estate boot spoiler, like just like I said, they had a flush boot on it. De-locked it, de-wipered it, put single wiper. Well, got rid of, I think there's 2 holes for the wipers, so filled in one, flushed one off, and I had the single wiper on it. Same thing I've kind of done with the one I have now. So basically, the one I had donkeys years ago, the one I have now, I'm not say replicating it, I'm making
it's a homage to it.
Yeah, it's a homage to what I've done. Like it's kind of. I'm not going to go too well. I can say I'm not going to go too mad. I went fucking mental on this one, so I did.
But back then, so big wheels would have been a thing, obviously. That's kind of probably like whenever we think of the Max Power era, we always say, guys sticking 18s on a Corsa or 18.
What I done was, obviously when I had the 15s on it, the Team Dynamics, I got a set of 17-inch Dynamics, then with the coilovers and that on it. This one I literally 12,000 quid, or it would have been Euro. So then we would have converted and changing over to the Euro then. That was 2002. When we converted over to Euro, and it was just like you could get a set of wheels for $1,000. Then you were obviously like 1,500-1,600, and the Euro conversion of it, you go, fucking hell, that's a lot of money now. But I think I was actually the first person in Ireland to run coilovers, 17-inch wheels back then. But it drove like a bag of shit.
Seriously?
I had to cut the arches on. I say there was no arches left on them. They were cut to them, like literally, just so you could have the clearance on it. It would have only been a 215.
Because you wouldn't have been worried about tyre sizes.
Back then was fucking monstrous. They were a big tyre back then.
But I don't think people really.
I should have been running a fucking 165.
People didn't really know. I feel like people didn't know tyres back then the same way.
I was just running like a Ford offset. Like if I got a Peugeot offset, that would have stuck out, because they're 4x10.
But they're ET15, Ford's ET42.
Yeah, so they're all 4x108, but ET on it, they would have pushing it out a little bit. Or was it in?
No, pushed it out, lower offset, so the wheel sat out further, Because if you stick Peugeot fitment stealths on a Ford, they sit out here. If you stick Ford fitment stealths on a Peugeot, you need a 20mm spacer. Ask me how I know. I own Ford fitment stealths. So how do you run spacers? Wasn't good crack.
Yeah, so that was back then, and then when I had it nearly the way I wanted it, so modified motors, Slick magazine, they were all kind of around then when it would have been Cool Nights would have been proper run back then. And what's the other one Ray done as well? He only had one there a while ago. Cool Nights, and then what was the summer one he done? Heatwave, yeah. Literally just getting the brain fart there for a second, but anyway, Heatwave.
Is that your boy DJ Gap? That's not X-Ray, DJ X-Ray, is it? Ray. Ray is his name. What was his? But is that not who he is? Did he not do all the DJ? I thought he was a DJ.
DJing and that as well. He still does that now. Ray's never growed up either.
Yeah,
we've never growed up.
I think because I remember all the events back in the day. It was like DJ X, a thing by DJ X-Ray.
Back then it would have been all big DJs, and that's when all the girls were all walking around. Like back then, if you know, it was like even back in that Max Power area when you had what was it? Not Jackie Degg and Jordan, when they were only like cubs as well. They were only 19, 20 back then.
So was it such a different time?
Yeah, 100%. The Fuel Girls back in Max Power. Lad, I'm telling you, I was over there, and a friend of mine was good mates with Richie, who owned Fuel, right? And I still pal around with this guy now.
Right, okay.
So we Stephen is his name. Shout out Stevie, because he listen to this one. He's still modifying cars now at the moment as well. He's mad into his Golfs and vans and stuff like that. But way back when, Stevie would have had a 4-door Focus, but the arches on this on it were like monstrous.
What colour was that Focus?
White.
Oh, it's not
And
the
it
one I'm
had the
thinking
full-on
of.
Ballistic sound system in it. Like Ballistic was back then. That was another sponsor that Stevie had, and then I used to get whatever Stevie wasn't using. I built my Ballistic sound system.
That's
in
class.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Do you think... Because I feel like, just on the topic of sound systems, I'm so torn, because I love the idea of doing a sound system in the car, and it's not hard to do. Like, it's hard to make tidy, but to actually wire it in, and to get the electronics of it is fine. Obviously, to make it look right,
See,
it's
we
a
were
different
running
story.
power caps and that in it as well, and then it would have been a big diesel battery we would have to put in it. So the amount of extra weight you were putting in it, and then if you didn't have sound deadening in it, it would literally when you turned it up too much bass, then all you were hearing was just panels, it sounded like fucking shit.
But I think, like, part of me's like, there's part of me goes, I would love to have a car that would have a sound system like that, because I love my music.
The Focus I have now has a 12-inch in the back of it,
Yeah.
and a set of 6x9s and different upgraded speakers in it. But that came from the previous owner. Would I have put that in it personally myself now? Probably not.
I mean, my Sierra needs the speakers upgraded in the rear because they're shite. But
On a long drive, it's nice having the tune. So it's like when I drove up here tonight, I only figured out after 2 years later how to work the Bluetooth on the wife's car, on the on the Beamer, and that was grand. I listen to Spotify all the way up. But normally when I'm in any of the other cars, the radio very rarely goes on. I'm listening to it, see if it's going to break down.
Well, like,
Yeah, or I like hearing the turbo whistles. I like hearing the pops and bangs, if you know what I mean. Because the spins I'm out on would be literally from here, 20-minute spin just to blow the cobwebs off.
yeah,
Or
you're
shows
not
that
really
I'd be
going
doing.
that far
No.
compared to.
Just go on the lap that I brought you on that day.
Great, it's a nice driving road, to be fair. No, because I'm just like, but part of me's like.
but
if
also
I-
part of it is like, I have spent a lot of money putting an engine into a car to not listen to it.
But I'm more like, I would love, like, part of me sits and goes, I would love to have a car, but then I don't even know what car I would use to build audio. And then part of me is also like, you have a car just sitting there.
It was the car I had, and that was the one that was putting the audio in, you know. But then anything after that, I kind of upgraded. I went from sounds, I went to speed. I went like more horsepower. So
Yeah.
when I sold that Fiesta, that was the time I had a chance between a black 88 rear-wheel drive Sapphire or an R32 GTST.
Was it a Sapphire Cosworth?
Yeah, all proper Cosy. Proper Cosy. It would have been a 320-ish brake one. Both of them were kind of in around the same
Yeah.
horsepower, but the Skyline was just night and day over it. So it was like they were complete polar opposites.
But this is the thing, and you know this too from owning Fords. Like, a Sierra is still based on a 1983 car.
Yeah.
Like, you see a difference between, like, my Sierra's 92, yours is 91.
Yeah.
And P100's early 92. And, like, if you look at my Lexus, it's 02, but the first Lexus were 99, and Altezas were 98. There's 6 years difference. BME 36 is the same. 1983 was the first of them, and the difference. They're a completely different car, because the Sierra, people think, a Sierra is like a similar age, but they're based off a car that's 10 years older, which makes them just.
But the Skyline just lit the back tyres up. Don't get me wrong, the Sierra did as well. On both test drives, I lit up the wheels on both of them, but I was just like. And they were about in around the same money. They were eight and a half grand. I think it was only 500 quid in the difference of it. I think actually the Sierra was 8 and then the Skyline was 8.5. But I knew the boat owners who had them, so I knew they were reliable enough cars. But that's when I went down my Jap route.
But before that, the magazines. You said your first car was in a magazine.
The red one, I had that in. It would have been Modified Motors back in 05.
So the reason I want to touch on magazines is I think Need for Speed Underground 2 had a very pivotal point in my life.
Yeah.
Because I started buying magazines in around 2003, 2004, 2005.
That was a nice one now to get that in back then, you know what I mean? That was something that would have been, as you would, for modifying a car, for you to get it, or if you to get a little picture in, say, Performance Ford or even Max Power or Redline back then would have been deadly. But to get a full feature,
absolutely,
that was brilliant back then.
So, like, in Need for Speed, one of the thingies you used to do was if you built your car to a certain spec,
Star rating.
Yeah.
which meant you just add stickers to try and get, like, you got your car in a magazine.
Yes.
And I always said that was my goal, was always to have a car in a magazine. I'd done it with the 207, albeit wasn't
What was it? 2018, I had the Cosy and the XR2 in what's that class? Was it one of the classic magazines?
Classic Car, Classic Ford,
Car.
Performance Ford.
No, it was Classic Car. It's an Irish one.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Car and Classic. No, that's English.
Is it something?
Is it Classic Cars Ireland?
I think it's that one. All right, I'll have to go onto the phone and have a look now. So will whenever we have a break. But yeah, that was 2018 when I got them on. And no, I was chatting to one of the lads. I think back then when Auto Heroes was before even Drift Games was around.
Yes.
When the lads done track days in Mondello, Auto Heroes. I had both cars at it, ripping them around the track. And the producer, I think, or the main editor of it came over to me. Same thing, was just having a chat with him, tell him I had this, what I was done with this. And he goes, that'd be great for a feature. Do you fancy doing it? This would have been in February, so that was grand. And then it was 6 months later, I just get an email out of the blue. We have a slot here now. Would you be up for doing it? I said, yeah, brilliant.
That's
It was
class.
great. Went out and got that done. So yeah,
That's class. I think there's something. So I can imagine, like, especially now, I think a lot of people, like, they nearly get their dopamine hit by posting their car on, like, certain groups on Facebook and they get their big likes. But back then, or on their TikToks or whatever, but back then, I think the real, like, flex was
a magazine feature, yeah.
And I think now that's lost.
Oh, the magazines are gone now, so they are.
I mean, I always still wanted to get my own car in a magazine, and one of my goals was a magazine, and one of my goals was Speed Hunters. I got both of them.
But see, that's
Thankfully.
us. But nowadays it's all digital now. If
Exactly.
You know what I mean. So you're still getting them put on. Like,
But it's not the same,
No.
because any kid with a camera can come out or any of us can come out with a camera and take a nice picture of something, whereas back in the day it was like, yes, Fast Car's going to send Steve McCann over to take a photo, and you were like, oh shit, like, this guy's coming over, like, you know,
it would have been like not would say a hero, but you know what I mean. Just like, oh shit,
absolutely. It was, and I think especially before the digital age come on, like, do you know, like, so what magazine was your XR3A featured in?
Oh, the Cozzy and the back.
No, back in the day. I'm trying to do this.
So it was Modified Motors.
Modified
Motors was the name of it, and they done a bike magazine as well. So and I think a farming magazine they were doing. So they were I think it was the company that was publishing them all. But I think what's his name? Delaney. I think I can't remember his first name on it. But he was the editor on nearly all of them. So he was so. It would have been one of the older school shows, and the lads were like, right, Al, you've got it to a stage where it's worthy enough for a magazine feature, let's do this. So we done it. It was like half a day or more doing the feature on it. Like, there was probably 1 million shots taken of it, and then half of the shots they put in it, in fairness now, I'd be like, oh, why didn't you put this in there, why didn't you put that angle in it? But that's the vision they had on it. So
like, what was your feeling like? What age? So you'd have been what, 22?
2005, I would have been 23.
23. So that's like a big, I would say, when you pump pretty much your entire life savings at that stage.
Everything in there, you know, because when I stopped doing the farming end of things, I was barman for a good couple of years in the local nightclub. In the local cattle market. Nothing really changed, but it was in that. And then what did I do after that? I think I went work with my uncle as a labourer plastering. That was big. That was nice money back then. So it was.
That would have been during the Celtic
Tiger.
Yeah, that was that we were. Oh Jesus, I was coming out with $2,000 in the. No, it would have been. That was, I can't remember what it was, but it was like.
But back then,
would have been 550 fucking quid a week, or 600 fucking quid a week for labour, and that was
600,
so much money.
That would have been the equivalent to at least $1,000 a week.
Yeah, but the brickies were always getting fucking 10 times that, so they were. Brickies were getting mad.
They were
back
getting.
then for
I know they were pound a brick at a time,
or whatever it was, and lads would be there 16 hours laying bricks. You know what I mean? Like, I'd see lads at the end of it. I'm after finishing my 10-hour shift, if you know what I mean, and there's the boys, and they're still flat or built by the house or whatever they were getting paid by. But that would have been well back in the Celtic Tiger end of things.
That was a
And you're sure, like,
different time in life, like
block lane
Then
now.
what did I do?
that was
Then I
$2,000
actually went
now.
to work with DHL then for 15 years. Well, it wasn't DHL back then. DHL by the end of my term with them, but I've buying the company out. So that would have been in driving forklifts. That's what I done then for.
So you're forklift certified?
I'm forklift certified for nearly every forklift that there is, like from 20 tons all the way down to power pallet trucks.
Would you ever be on a big forklift?
Yeah, I'll show you a couple of photos now. In a while, the big one we have now, it's a brand spanking new. Oh shit, I can't remember the name of it. We used to have hoisters all the time, but we have a brand spanking new big 12 tonner, and we only use it a handful of times. But this weekend just gone, I had to use it a good bit because we were that busy. The yard was full of just PMCs everywhere. So PMC would be a ULD that goes onto a plane. So there'd be 6 standard pallets or €5 pallets on this one, or the other way around, with the nets not over it. You probably see them on some of the photos and that. So we had a scatter load of them on it. So our loading bay, where we would reverse trucks onto, and then it's automated where you press a button and it'd roll on down onto the truck. We couldn't do that, so I ended up having to use the brand new 12 ton. And then I was actually loading, these are called PZGs, so this is for these are 20 foot long ULDs.
Okay.
So they are, and we had loads of big crates on it that can't go on normal flights. Not even freighters. These would be trucked over to the UK and then over to Frankfurt on a bigger plane. Anyway, so I ended up having to go in, use the big machine and lift it up, and this is 20 foot long, and you're trying to angle it to get it into the back of an 8 foot wide truck. If you know me, so lengthwise, you go into it, she'd take up like half of it.
Sure do, absolutely.
So, I'm still getting to drive big toys, if you know what I mean. So, but not as much as I'd like to. But we could have clearing the bed, we could have getting it, we could have done it the normal way. But it's like, fuck it, let's just get this done. Let's get this, you know.
So in 2005, is that then when you had that's when you had the choice in the Jap stuff? So you go from basically, as you say, it's nearly polar opposite. It's
complete polar
show
opposite.
car to probably still.
No, it wasn't. This was another show car. So this one I didn't bring the Fiesta ever over to Max Power in Birmingham.
I've missed a step. Yeah. So okay.
So when I sold that on, I've been over there once or twice with the lads, but I never wanted to bring the Fiesta over.
Yes.
I always just went over with the other boys that they would have having.
Any reason why you didn't bring it over?
I don't know. Why didn't I bring it over?
It's intimidating. The first time you go to England for a show was shocking.
The first time I went with the lads was a spur of the moment. I think it was like 2 days before it. One of the lads let down, and then I went, if you know, I mean, in the following year, I had the car sold then.
Okay.
And then I had the Skyline, and then the Skyline was at it for 3 or 2 years.
Why did you sell it?
I got offered the right money for it.
Oh right, so somebody just was like,
someone offered me the right money for it. I had a go for something else, and I got offered silly money for it back then.
So did you have, just so I get this right in my head, it was a Mark III and then straight to the Skyline?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was basically getting at, but I got that wrong. So you went from basically something with no power.
Something would have been probably 150 horsepower to a 320 horsepower yoke, so it was big and rear wheel drive.
Was it daily driven, your show car?
Yeah.
Oh, that was your only vehicle?
Yeah, that was the only thing I had back then. So yeah, most lads back then, their daily show car was
their daily.
It was basically a daily show car, kind of, if you know what I mean.
Did you have to repaint things a lot, or?
You were constantly repainting stuff, and then I used to go back roads all the time. So I used to work out in Blanchardstown, back of Blanche.
Yeah.
Ballycoolan was the name of it, and the quickest way for me to do it, instead of going M1, M50, would have been going the back roads.
What, out by not as far down as that?
Would have been Garristown area, out that way. What's the name? It's been that long since we've been out that way.
Heading towards Ashbourne?
Would have been near enough Ashbourne. We would have been a couple of miles down from Ashbourne, cutting across and then going through that way.
Because you're Junction 5 you come off, aren't you?
Yeah. First one would be Junction 5. You can come off at Junction 6 for me as well, but Junction 5 would be...
And Junction 7's the tolls, isn't it? Yeah.
Would you say you had your fun with it and it was time to move on whenever somebody did offer you the right money?
Yeah.
Or would you have held on to it?
I would have liked to hold on to it, but back then, at that age, you had to sell a car to get another car. If you wanted to trade up, if you wanted to go bigger, you had to sell what you had.
They just offered you money at the right time?
Yeah, I was offered money at the right time. I had a go on me for something else. I knew this car was going to be coming up for sale shortly, so it was just like kind of, it all landed together. It was kind of nice. So
an R32 then Skyline?
Yeah, GTST.
Would you have said it? Did you go max power route with that?
No.
No. So this was the first foray.
But this would have having buddy clubs on it, same as what was on your Sierra. I had GTR body kit in it, spoiler, side skirts, front bumper. Then it would have gone down different. Would have been GTR injectors, GTR turbo.
So she was
GTR
kind of
interior.
OEM plus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was basically a GTST with every GTR component you could put on it, and this was done. A lot of that stuff was done from the previous owner.
Yes.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Did it have-
Ed was his name. Eddie was his name. Brother's mate. So
Yes.
it was just one of them things. Right place, right time, and picked it up. I said that was $8,500.
Did it have the GTR arches in the rear?
Had everything.
Oh, so
It had everything.
it was a
done.
proper
Yeah,
GTR
it was
rep.
Proper GTR rep.
she nearly would have been as well buying a GTR back then.
Well, I don't think you would have gotten one. Well, I suppose you would have only paying 12 maybe.
That's what I was
for a
gonna say,
GTR,
12 grand
but
would have
it was
got you.
insurance end of things, and
Aye, okay. Yeah.
I was always by the book kind of back then, if you know what I mean,
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't want to get, because like coppers were lenient enough with us back then, but there's been a couple of times I was pulled over. They'd have a look at the tax disc and they'd ask you to pop your bonnet. Yeah, because obviously there was a couple of other lads going around 1.1, which I would have, but having the 1.6 in it, and they were going, all right, what's going off here, lads?
So
Would they have been cute enough to know it wasn't a 1.6?
Oh, but some it could have been
The
probably
big-
just one or two younger coppers that kind of knew.
Oh, okay.
big
The
one
new
up
cars
here
back then.
that they used to catch boys out on was Glanzes. Glanzes. Every Glanz in the country came in
but they
registered
aren't
as a
up, sure.
1.3
There was one
Charlotte.
stage you couldn't insure a Glanza.
Yeah.
Nobody would fucking touch you.
Yeah.
Or anything Jap at one stage, nobody would touch you.
That's probably because so many
Yeah.
people were crashing and bashing
Yeah.
them. But so did you do the Max Power shows then with the
With the Skyline, yeah.
But then how did that compare? Kind of not having like the mental doors and a big sound system, or did you have a sound system and all in the
No,
Skyline?
I had a nice engine bay. I went in and I wouldn't say I chromed it out, but I tidied everything up lovely and I put different houses on it. It was a nice showpiece for it, you know what I mean? The wheels were a lovely stance on it back then. It was the kit on it was nice. Got it painted, so there was a few
colour was
pounds
it?
spent on it, but I didn't go
What colour was it?
white.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
So was the body clubs white too?
yeah, it was white on white.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be class actually. White on
What
white.
type of body clubs were on it for the
Exact same as the ones that were on the
the
Sierra.
where actually one of the hub is quite deep?
Yeah,
Oh, right, yes.
Like mine.
They're like convex body clubs in.
I'm not too sure. All I knew,
P1SFs.
there was a
P1SFs.
buddy club sticker on them, and they were buddy clubs.
It's funny how them wheels have come back into fashion. Like,
So that would have been the two big areas and arenas in the NEC. But then outside, you want to see some of the cars that were outside. I don't know how they didn't make it inside. But as I said, like back then, I wouldn't say we had contacts, but we kind of knew a couple of people from Max Power and the Fuel lads and stuff like that anyway. So we were grand. There was 6 of us that went over, 5 or 6 of us that went over one year, and we were kind of all together. So there was my Skyline, there would have been Stevie's Focus, would have been a lovely black Galanza then, Punto GT. There was a couple of lovely, obviously, this one was one of the newer Punto GTs.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So, we had a yellow GT before that, and then I think he had this one, which was the newer version of it. But this same thing, like this one had lovely wheels on a full kit, flush boots, different door handles, different mirrors. Like when lads were kind of unique back then, where they literally just, like as I said, big mad body kits and different wheels and stuff like that on it. To nowadays, it's just like you go on, there's a Maxton kit design, there's a lip kit on it. You know, though, like back then it was more original. To now you're just buying off a website or buying off a shop.
yeah, I kind of feel like today, like I always was of the impression, like whenever I was trying to sell, like at one point I was like, do you know what, I might actually sell a Lexus, and my thing was, I'll sell a Lexus, it's automatic, that means it's never been abused. And like for us growing up, when we were buying cars, it was like, you want a standard car, because then you know it's never been abused. Whereas it seems to be like, so for back then, if a Sierra, and I bought my Sierra with a couple of mods and all, but if you could have got something bone stock, you probably would have done. Because you're like, it's owned by an old person in England and it's got a service history book about this thick. And now I feel like people don't want to do that work anymore. People now want to.
They're looking to build my own car from scratch.
I don't think anybody really wants to build cars now.
I would say now, but even back probably 2014, 15 when I was still doing that, I would buy one that had kind of mods done on it, because this is the car I wanted. It had a couple of nice little mods on it, an exhaust, a filter, maybe a map on it, stage 1 or something like that. So that wasn't an issue. Because back then it was piggyback chips. You know what I mean? It was like what I kind of doing now with my Fiesta. I would like to go different ECU and that in it.
Standalone.
But I'm not going to go for power with this one. This is just low and slow. Well, low and
I know, but you get the nice wee
noisy,
switch that you can just go.
Come here, it's reliable now at the moment, touch wood. So it is, you know what I mean? As she starts, she turns, she drives.
Better off not taking advice from me, like.
No. Well, in fairness, now I wasn't too sure what was going to happen with it when I done the full loom tuck and battery in the boot and all that. When I literally got first turn in the key.
That's amazing.
That was like what, the night before Dubshed, or 2 nights before Dubshed.
But you're quite meticulous.
Yeah.
Like, you'd be fussy.
Very.
Yeah, you would have whereas I would just be like,
Oh,
do it now and worry later, and then it comes to the point of worrying and my anxiety goes
It's not-
through the
I
roof.
was like that for a long time, if you know what I mean. But now, obviously, I have the unit where I am now at the moment. I have the time to do it. Kind of have the knowledge now. Like, I broke more things over the years than I've actually fixed or mended. Now, you know what I mean. But you learn as you go on.
well,
so.
sure. It's like Dubshed. You got there, and then you were washing the car, and you wouldn't. Me and Tyree were like, I know you need to wash down the front bumper a bit more, and it was like, oh, it should be grand.
I just wanted to get inside.
Yeah.
I'll tell you actually what had happened there was my gear stick was starting to mess about on me.
Yes.
So,
Your mind was elsewhere.
you wouldn't have seen this, but basically after Dubshed, I lost reverse.
That was the first year.
No, this year.
Oh, this year. Oh,
Before me
So when we
going.
were putting on our bonnets, not being bonnet wankers, when we were putting the bonnets back on, because I was gone then. No,
Yeah.
you were driving out and putting it on the trailer then, were you not?
No, you were long gone.
Was I?
Yeah, you were long gone. I was one of the last cars away.
Yeah.
It was
were
me
one
and
of-
Dave Egan.
Yeah.
We were like 2 of the last people to leave. No, I lost reverse going on the way up. So the car drove fine the whole way. Tried to get into the parking bay. A car wouldn't go in. Finally got it into reversed into the parking bay. That was fine. To wash it down, washing bay, and I was starting to think, fuck, I need to get this car in here. And all I was thinking was, there's no point in me washing this car down too much because I still need to jack it up, see what the problem is. Got in underneath her.
It was worse looking whenever you did not think that. You were like,
But then I was
You're
also,
grand.
Rapid detailer.
but then I was
grand.
also like,
no. Just fucking, we'll try and dry it. See this man with Rapid Detailer? They'll do the same panel 7 times. And then forget about the rest of the car.
Oh yeah, how you talking and then back to the same panel, back to the front corner.
I'll never
yeah.
forget.
LZ Fest
LZ
2020,
Festival.
2023.
Was it 2023?
It was the year
was
of,
it was
no,
first World
second.
Tour
Second
one.
one.
I was first World Tour
22.
The
one.
year of Larry Chen.
Yes.
Body
Well,
cups and hydraulics.
Yeah, I got Larry this week. Now I got my 2 cars featured with Larry
Yes,
Chen.
yes.
So
Indeed.
yeah, that was good. That was
The,
nice. That was like
That was a nice wee touch. Yeah, that was the same. I was very happy
Yeah,
with
but
that.
Colin Sierra and Escort, I was like, Larry, shut up, you haven't a clue. Yeah. See, it would have been more so of seeing the Focus, because they have the Mark 1s over there, an STV or something like that.
SVT?
Yeah, SVT, yeah, but they never got the RS version of it.
Would SVT have been like their
Just a 2-litre
ST?
ST170, basically. That's all it was. But I had a nice-ish kit on it, but it was a boxy kit.
It's kind of like this weird mid-range between an ST170
Yeah.
and an RS.
Yeah.
Oh, right, yes. But just to finish that bit, like, people kept talking to him.
I think people have heard this story
He
in the
started
pod before.
to fucking clean it at 9 o'clock, and at 1 o'clock he
He was
hadn't
still
got to the
doing
other
it,
fucking
yeah.
side. He hadn't even got to the other side.
I hate ignoring. It's kind of paid dividends, to be honest. I would hate someone to go like, "Oh, Michael Scullen boy's a complete cunt. He ignored me."
Yeah, well, he is.
Do you know? And it's like, it's not something I would like.
Yeah.
I would
No,
genuinely get.
I understand
I would
completely.
genuinely
I've
get
been
really
there
in-
many a times. It's have taken hours to clean the car because I said you don't want to be rude. You know,
Yeah.
like someone's coming over, taking time out of there to ask questions. Don't get me wrong, I talk bollocks all
Oh,
day.
no, I'm only taking the piss. I'm only taking the piss out of
especially
him.
But
whenever
come back to me in a minute. Why? Because I want to get the car fucking clean.
But especially when people are come up and they go, "Oh, I like the pod," and you're kind of, you don't want to say, "All right, cool." Like, you kind of go, "Well, thank you very much." And you
Must
can't.
be only 5 listeners we have, did it?
It was.
Yeah,
at the
I was
time.
one.
You and Kieran O'Reilly.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was because there's a picture of you and Kieran wearing the
Oh, I
hoodies.
think that the literally was only when you first done the first
Yeah.
stint of merch. I think of me and him were the first 2 lads on it. We're thinking
Yeah.
of doing merch. I'll have one.
Yeah.
I got this and the white t-shirt, and I still wear it religiously. As I was saying, like, you had a Corsa,
Mm-hmm.
but then you had Bora front lights on it.
Yes.
Then they had probably punto lights or different lights put in the back of it.
Bad boy bonnets. were
Bad boy
massive.
bonnet. I done one of those, so I did. I had the little side thing, literally just mate of mine, standard bonnet.
There was a lot of cars that really suit them.
Yeah.
Course of Bees.
Yeah, of course they did. They genuinely
golf
did.
really suit them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But these were, as I said, back then, this is when lads were thinking outside the box. They literally were just fucking bits off other cars that they had, and they were like, as I said, like, they were being unique with cars. Not putting off what lads are building now. Some of the cars that lads are building now, but like literally, this was proper. There was a lot more body shops who done this type of
Like
stuff.
specialised in it.
Specialised in it, but because you were getting like big enough money off the lads back in the day to do it. Like lads were coming in, they were spending every penny that they had on their cars. Like so I was that person, still am that fucking person. So you know, like
to be honest, like funny. We actually talked about this recently enough on a recent podcast. There was a place in Marfeld. Like now you've got like kind of like your CC auto styling and like 86 Aero and all those guys are now, and drift kits and all them guys,
Yeah.
and they're now doing all that kind of stuff. And
like
they're
every
probably
chaser that you see nowadays is the same kit.
yeah. Well, it's either an Origin
drift kit,
or a
yeah.
BN Sports.
Yeah, being a sport kit.
Like,
If I was to build one, I'd probably do the exact same myself.
but
It looks nice.
Yeah, it does.
something I'm looking at for another vehicle I have. But anyway, we like back then it seemed to be you bought like the same bumper, but it went to a different car.
Yeah,
so
that would have been that combat
Combat
kit.
too.
Oh,
Back
yes.
then, every fucking car. Sorry, lads. Every car had
No, you
that
can
combat
swear.
kit in it.
Absolutely can swear.
Fuck. No, every car had that combat kit in it. But that's where I always stayed. OME plus. If you know what I mean. But I never went down the road of putting the full combat kit in it. What I did think of it at one stage to do it with the RS Turbo and the Fiestas and stuff like that, but every second car kind of had them back then. So you had your 106s had them, you had your Corsas had them, Novas had them, Astras had them. Like,
would you have said that's the equivalent of like a Maxton kit and a cell?
yeah,
Like,
yeah, that would be the equivalent now to a Maxton lip kit here nowadays.
Out of curiosity, what year was it, and what was your thoughts whenever? Yes, you've all the originality stuff, like everybody doing something different. To somebody pulls in and just something that's absolutely licking tar, sort of stock body, nothing mental done to it, but still getting into a show. Like, were you like, what have you done to it, or?
I wouldn't. I was never one to give out. Well, there was always different types of modders back then. Like, you had someone,
Still are.
Oh, there is. Like, you have someone who basically, I said, doing the unique stuff, and then someone who went to Halfords and just bought everything off the shelf, and they were sticking like just a stick-on exhaust and like horrible things, like 40 different lights on it. The CB, and don't get me wrong, the CB aerials, that was like a felt
I
thing.
only like them if they're practical.
Yeah, like that was like kind of back down.
Like,
but
twin cams are very
there
cool.
was literally some lads who had the taste up their arse, but you couldn't really say much to them because they were
That was their pride and joy.
you
that
do
was their pride and joy, if you know me. But you're looking at it
see-
going, fuck, what are you thinking? You know?
you do still see some stuff
you
like
do
that
still
now,
see
and you're like,
you do.
What year would it have transitioned from your big body kits to the real
I don't.
clean look?
Probably going up into 2009, 2010, but then
Yeah.
back then you had the Celtic Tiger kind of went downhill, and then
Do you think it was a subsequent?
I think it was the
factor of it?
older some of us got back at that age, the older we got when we could get better cars. But then the kind of younger version coming behind us weren't really doing that. They didn't really have the money.
yeah. So that's what I think.
We were in the boom back then, if you know what I mean, and we had the money, we were getting good money at work, and we could spend the monies on it. But the generation behind me
Us.
didn't really have. Yeah, well, no, you was kind of probably the next kind of generation, if you know. Like, there's me. I have 8 nephews or 6 nephews, something like that. None of them are into cars.
Well, out of curiosity, do you think then a subsequent thing, so you're in the Celtic Tiger, you're making big dough, and then obviously you're a 17, 18, 19-year-old after the Celtic Tiger,
So that was us.
Yeah.
you couldn't really afford to do much, so all you could was like coilovers and wheels
Yeah.
and just go as low as
Yeah.
possible.
See, the dub scene really took off
Yeah.
up here anyway. I know the South still kind of had a bit more of a Jap scene, but the dub scene took up massively up here in about 09. And that was all about the clean look.
Yeah.
And it was all...
I even ventured into that for a while myself, even. I mean, I'd VR6 Golf. I'd two,
really?
Yeah, 2 106 Mark II.
Mark III?
Mark II.
Oh, Mark 2?
Mark 2 one, yeah. Was it Mark 2, Mark 3? Mark 2.
Were they four-wheel drive or two?
Oh, shit, I don't
Two-wheel
know.
drive.
Two-wheel drive.
Yeah, all front wheels. Then I had 106 GTIs. What else did we have then? There was a couple of other nice...
But how does someone with a 330 horsepower Skyline...
Had to sell it.
Aye.
I had to get rid of it. Or get my licence taken off me and being put in the clinker.
Oh, due to alleged things that allegedly happened.
things in Mexico.
Yes.
But the policia in Mexico followed me one evening.
Oh.
But followed me for about 10-15 minutes.
Oh.
And didn't put the flashers on whatsoever.
Oh.
And then pulled me over. But lucky enough, back then I kind of knew one or two cops, sergeants back in the day, and literally he rang me the next day after telling him the story, and he goes, right, you have two choices. You sell the car, you get rid of it, it goes under the carpet. That car seen around this town again, you're fucked. So that car sold, and I believe it or not, that car's still on the go.
Really?
That car's still on the go, yeah. A mate of mine from work bought it off me, and then a friend of his bought it, and he spent a fortune on the fucking thing. But this is probably a good couple of years ago when I knew it was still on the road. Maybe not now, but I know up to 5 years ago it was still going, it was still on the road.
Likelihood is it probably still exists because boys aren't going to scrap them cars.
Yeah, but come here, the lad who bought it off me, I think after about 2 weeks he put it in the ditch.
Okay.
Yeah. Blondie, yeah. Literally a couple of weeks later he stuck her in the ditch, so he did.
Out of curiosity, were you literally caught doing alleged things?
Yes.
Oh.
So it was a damp afternoon, and normally, like nowadays, I wouldn't take a car out on a damp day or a wet day. You know what I mean? Because I don't have a rear-wheel drive car now. But
Yeah, I already know if your Sarah's all-wheel drive.
Yeah, it's four-wheel drive. Well, the wife's car, that's rear-wheel drive, but we don't
Yeah.
say, we don't do any. Sorry, Nick, we don't do any messing in that. Not with the two boys in the back seat. I actually got caught one evening, came back, and there was grass all the way up on the wheel arches. And in fairness, now the two boys ratted me out. So they did. Oh no, we were doing donuts in the car, mammy. No, we weren't. Shut up. Yeah, shut up, lad, shut up. It was grand now, it was okay. I was wondering why I'm after going through 2 sets of back tires already, Alan. Oh, sorry. But yeah, allegedly, I was out for a spin and went on my normal little run. And you know the roundabouts up at Walterstown, up where you were with me? So, you know the second one, not on the bridge, there's the other one.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, so that was the one I was messing on, and I didn't see the light. They must have turned the lights off or whatever, but literally I was just downloading around there. So I went up the back road up where my other lockup nearly is, and there's a couple of corners there where you can literally dip the clutch and you can send her out sideways. So then all of a sudden, seeing the flashers behind me, I was like, oh, no way of getting out of this, Al. Literally just nearly stuck my hands out the window, so I did. No, literally was arrested, put in handcuffs. Car was taken away. I was brought down to said station, and yeah, so I basically had to get rid of that car then. And then that's when I actually got the 106 GTI.
It must have been. Was it humbling or did you not care? Like were you just like meh, whatever?
I was kind of a bit of both. I was like, fuck, I'm gonna lose my license now. What's going to happen here? But I said I was lucky enough. I was pally enough with a sergeant in the town. And he kind of swept under the carpet for me, thank God. Because if you've done that nowadays, you're fucked.
Yeah,
you're gone. It's
100%.
license. Like lads, they would love to ban you back then, but nowadays they ban you like literally in a second. But back then, I got benefit of the doubt, so I did. In fairness, now.
Probably because they just knew you weren't. If you were impeding other road users.
Oh yeah, no, this was literally on the same route that I would have normally gone on constantly in the time. It was just the fact they seem. I was probably reported many a time for limit their banging and sending her sideways. Because any crossroad, any junction I was coming out at, she was just literally.
Yeah, like I wouldn't have an appetite. There are ones to do that, but I wouldn't have an appetite to do it anymore.
I was only 23 back then, lads. You know
I have no appetite. Says the man that allegedly, whenever he takes her out into the backyard there, you know, up there, she just goes round and just draws lines.
Aye, but like when I had the test,
it won't run right if you don't do it.
Exactly, you need to test it.
Yeah, I know. When I had the test, allegedly, like every chance she got, that thing was being thrown out. Like. That
was the thing. I was going through.
Your twin cam on it. It was out everywhere.
On that
allegedly.
car, I think I went through probably 2-3 sets of back tires before you'd have to do anything on the front. And the fronts were always fine. Constantly just shredding them.
Is there
They would have only been
tires
16s back then.
Yeah, but tires would have been so cheap back then too.
Like that.
Yeah.
Not these big dirty 18s or 19s that the lads are running now, and they still can spin them up. So
What was the feeling like going back to the 106 GTA?
That's what I was basically getting at.
to drop down to that. There was a mate of mine's. He had a lot of work done on it, so he did. He had B&M quick. She was calmed. B&M quick shifter in it. Lovely exhaust on it. She spit flames.
They're class.
It was.
I love them
It
cars.
killed me one time. Where was I going? Up to work. I was going the back way through. Oh, what's the name of the crossroads? There's a big crossroads going through, but then when you go up through it, there's a big right hand turn. I was flat out up to it. Truck came around. I let off. Car done. Just literally done 360 lift off oversteer. Literally spun in the middle of the road. I was like, okay. It was like a fucking widowmaker.
Oh, yeah, a pair of trousers after that one.
To be fair, it's funny. See with the Mugen wing and that being tilted, that you can tell it in the motorway. Like, you can really, like, I'll not go any harder than 70 plus VAT.
Yeah, plus a bit of that. But this thing could just bang up through the gears with that little B&M short shifter in it. So when I sold it, when I got rid of the Skyline, I actually got my money back for it. I got $9,000 back on it.
Good
and
enough.
That was, 3 years of driving on it. So I done the smart thing, paid off my credit card.
Yeah.
Back then, that credit card, fucking nightmare. Went to Cool Nights, that was in the RDS. I literally just signed up to win a holiday with Ryanair. But it was obviously MDMA or not MDMA, whatever company it was back then. 3 weeks later, it was literally like a stroke of luck. 3 weeks later, I get a credit card in the door for $8,000. Ring this number, get this set up, verified. I was like, okay. I think a day prior to that, I blew up the first or the second engine in the Fiesta. I was like, yes, I'll have this. Worst thing I ever done. It took me years to get rid of that card. So anyway, it was a smart thing anyway. So when I sold the Skyline, paid off the credit card, bought the 106. Sold the 106 then, and I don't know why I sold the 106. Why did I get rid of it?
Too many
something
scary
else. That was probably, I don't know what it was. Something we won't mention on this anyway. But anyway, got rid of the 106, so I did, and then I bought silver. That was the one I went up and got the RS 1800 up out of Enniskillen. Got that one, swapped that one. This was back then when you weren't buying cars, you were swapping cars. So this is when I went on to that. So basically, you were swapping a car that was kind of the same money, or if somebody, like I would have probably getting 5 or 6 different texts off lads going like, I have this car, I have that car, I'm not interested. So I ended up selling the RS 1800 and got another 106 GTI and a Saxo VTS.
Oh.
Yeah, one of the Blaze Yellow or Blaze, one of those ones. So
how long was it, the yellow or was it more of the orange?
No, it was the yellow.
More
the yellow.
Them, yeah.
So got the 2 of them. Sold a couple of weeks later.
I used to love the wings that came on them.
So I did, because need a little bit of work. Sold it on. Got me money back, which was happy enough, or close enough to it. Drove that 106 for a year or two. That's when the intelligence starts first came out, where you could press the button and she started up from inside the house.
Yes.
Oh lad, I turned it on one morning, had it in gear, and she was bucking like fuck. So she was looking at it, had the handbrake well up. But I was getting ready for work, press start, and I could see the car bucking, wanting to go. Why it didn't cut out, I don't know. And she's this much away from the gates, because I would have had an E36 Beamer, an old one that was another mess car, sitting at the front of the house, and then I had the 106 in front of it, and I was just like, I had to get up, had to run out, so it did, because I don't know what was going off. I think it was a malfunction on it or something. It wouldn't stop me, but she could have literally just gone clean out. But there is meant to be a stop on them that if it's in gear or something like, I don't know what way it was, but she didn't. She wanted to go out that fucking gate on me, so she did. And then I think my dad's truck, my dad's truck would have been brother's van, would have been a milk van, was literally right in front of it. I would have clean gone into the side of him. So what did we go for then after that? I think that's at the stage where then I went racing little mini motos. Small little ones. But these were like 15, 16 horsepower. You could do 60 mile an hour, 50, 60 mile an hour in these fucking mad things. Yeah. These were savage. And we done up in Castlefin. Funny story about that. So we used to go up to Castlefin, Nuts Corner, and there was 1 or 2 places down Yoke. So my first race van that we bought was a Fiesta van.
Right.
So this was a mate of mine, lived across the road. His sister had a balloon company or like blowing up balloons and all that. One of those things anyway. But this van sat down outside that house for years. I picked it up there and we were driving. So back then it would have been you would have happened to driving up through Dundalk, over the bridge in Dundalk, if you know what I mean. And this was this before the M1 was even done. Like this was like a 4-hour trip to get up to Castlefin. Yeah. We were nearly driving up through. It would have been Strabane, and that would have been no.
If you were going to Castlefin, you would come. If you were going that way, you would.
We used to. Then we learned we
come to Sprucefield and basically head out the M1.
I think it was Clady. Is that up around there as well? So we used to find a couple of little back roads and we used to skip off over that way. So that was the first van that we had. Then after that, we had a couple of transits. You know what I mean? Mark II, Mark III transits. So I think we raced bikes for 4 or 5 years. And then would have been that was 2007, 2008. That's when I met my now wife.
Yes.
Yeah.
And kind of stopped racing. The lads kept racing. But one of the boys used to have my van.
Yes.
And he gave me his D-Turbo, the 306.
Yes.
This was same thing, 2 clicks down or 3 clicks down on the rear, cut springs on the front. I don't already got lowering springs on it. But this was a lovely yoke to drive. So this was brilliant.
They are a fun
I love driving my 306.
Speaking of them, I was on Facebook Marketplace earlier on. I never normally go onto it.
Oh, I have a Facebook Marketplace a deck.
Clicking down, and I seen one, I was like, you don't see them anymore. There was one for like 1,700 quid. Trim. I was like, if I had the money there, I would actually go and buy it. It was a 1.4, but it looked clean enough. But you never see them anymore. Like they were all rusted. They just all disappeared.
A lot of them rusted. A lot of them are crashed.
Yeah.
Any of the good ones now, like I know a fella I'd be friendly with, and he gave for a black phase 1 over 5, I think, for one.
Which is scary.
Extremely clean. Now he just went, this is my type R.
Yeah.
She's sitting with the wheels he wanted. He's lowered her a bit, and she's just like.
Did he sell her, or did he?
No. She lay for a long time.
Like the Mark III Fiesta for me, it was always my favourite car. I just had a thing for them. Just always loved them. But going back after I kind of stopped the racing and things, the missus when first started.
3-door D-Turbo.
Pardon?
3-door.
3-door. Yeah, black one. With black one as well. So it was lovely.
Phase 1, 2 or 3.
2. So it didn't have the full headlights, if you know, it had the indicators on the side. The headlights and the indicators were separate.
Yeah,
that would be phase 2. So then, what did we get then after that? I think that was when the swapping and the things were going good. So then, what did we get rid of? And then we bought. I had nothing at the moment, and then. I think I had a normal little Saxo that I had for a daily bought off a neighbour of mine for 200 quid. But then that was what I was saying to you earlier on. I came down the road where I used to live in back home, and I seen the GS300, the Aristo.
Yes.
Seen that sitting down the bottom of the road. I said, I drove down the bottom of the road because it's a little end of a cul-de-sac, and I was like, ooh, that's fruity looking, that's nice. And I was having a little walk around, and I said, walk around the back of it, and I went, Aristo. And with that, I was like, no way, just a penny dropped. That's a 2JZ in that. I was like, no way. So ran over to the neighbour's house, started with the car. He goes, oh yeah, 3 litre twin turbo. I was like, oh, no fucking way. So he told me the story of it, told me the story about it. So an L-boy had it for years, automatic obviously, wanted to trade up for an Euro. So the sales rep, let's shit you not back there, that was what, 2008, maybe 2009, gave £800 or €800 for that back then.
That actually makes sense, because people would have just been like, I don't know what that is.
No, he didn't give a bother. He just thought it was just a 3 litre. And back then, obviously the Supra engine, Supra was the Supra, if you know. But this was still the same engine, but it was in an automatic. But it would have been tank of a yoke.
They'd have been like, the engine's worth to be 800 quid.
It wasn't the Aristos that you see now. It was the older Aristo that had. It looked like a Korean. It would be like a J, one of the JZXs. Had that type of look on it.
Yeah.
So it did. Anyway, hassled the neighbour for fucking months, absolute months, to sell it to me. And then, as I said, he came around and he goes, I want $2,000 for it. Boom. No fucking problem. I said, that was a swapping and things. Had that for a while. Swapped that then. I said, I paid $2,000 for that. I got an MR2 then for that, a white twin entry turbo MR2, which was worth about 5.5.
Okay.
But your man wanted that one. He didn't know what I got it for, you know what I mean? They were kind of going for that money. So anyway, I upgraded to that. That was the beauty about back then, where you could kind of get what you wanted. If you had something nice to swap, you could get what you wanted. Because I knew lads were swapping Evos and Skylines and fucking would have been GT4, Celicas and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Because you're all in and around the same money. Then that really kind of stopped then. So I said, then after that, I said I got the black ST170. We tipped around on that for a little while. Then this is where the Cosy comes in. So I had a replica or a Focus RS.
Okay.
So 2 litre ST170 as well, but fully kit. Had the arches, bumpers, interior. It had every single thing you needed.
But what colour was it? Black?
Blue. No, the
blue?
ST170 was black. This one was Imperial Blue.
But it was an ST.
But it was an ST.
But it literally looked like your...
Literally had everything. It looks like the one I have now.
Yeah.
So when we got married, then it would have been up to 2015 then. So when I was away on the honeymoon, I seen the Sierra pop up in a local garage. Like literally, at the garage we used to park outside for fucking donkey's years. It popped up. Harfords, Ian. When that popped up, I was literally like, no fucking way, because I wanted one. I had a couple of quid there for thanks everybody for all the wedding presents, the wedding money.
Yes.
But no, I had money put aside for that after the wedding. And then literally I was in San Francisco on the first day of the honeymoon, scrolling through the phone. This popped up on Facebook. I was like, no way. I wanted one of these. So literally I rang him straight away over in San Francisco, rang him, says, Ian, will you take $5,000 over the phone now? So he took $5,000 deposit on that. I still had 3 weeks of a honeymoon left. All I could think about was just getting home to the Sierra. And I had 5 litre Mustang.
You did?
For the drive, we drove down Route 1.
Oh,
so
when you were on rental over there.
Over there. So we drove from San Francisco down to LAX. So we did. So we did in Monterey, San Luis Obispo. Monterey was brilliant because Laguna Seca is literally 2 minutes. Laguna Seca is in Monterey.
Yeah.
I got to see the corkscrew live. I got to do a couple of donuts out in one of the car parks.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah. She was out taking a video of it, shitting herself, so she was, because there was no one around, there was no racing on, there was nothing happening. It looks different, but no, because we used to be mad into Formula 1 back then. Not Formula 1, it would be MotoGP.
Yeah.
MotoGP would have been coming down, like seeing Rossi coming down through the corkscrew.
You're
looking at it, that's a big...
Oh, the corkscrews like that. The corkscrew is so steep.
I couldn't believe it. Like, we got close enough up to it, so we did, and I was looking at it going,
that's what they say about the corkscrew, is it's actually, once you look at it, you're like, that's a lot steeper than what I thought.
How steep would it be?
Probably 20% or...
Fuck.
Easy, like, this was literally like, I couldn't believe it up that fucking close.
Do you know, did you ever hear the court case about Laguna Seca?
No.
So basically, there's been all these noise complaints coming in against Laguna Seca, but it turns out that they think that they basically, Big Time did a video on it, and apparently if you dig into it, all the complaints have come from this one address, but the guys pretend to be different people.
Why the fuck would you move beside a racetrack and then complain about it?
It's the same as Londoners moving in.
It's the same as everything. Like, we used to be out to Mini Moto and out on that boy, and it used to be in the middle of nowhere. Then one dickhead built a house a couple of miles, not even a couple of miles away, a little bit a mile away from it, you know what I mean? Complaint after complaint after complaint, you know what I mean? I ended up getting them shut down because they wanted to keep one dickhead happy, but they would have let the business fail because of noise complaints, you know?
But it is a sickener, it is a complete sickener.
Is it not Kirkiston? Is you can only do it at certain day, or what is the racetrack?
Mondello?
No, and
they have a decibel limit.
Oh, Bishop's Court.
Yeah.
Is it?
Bishop's Court and Bishop's Court actual proper circuit.
Then
only 10 days a year because of noise complaints.
Because of some dickhead got permission to build a house in a state right beside it.
And I think it was Drift Games were looking at it because it would have been a good enough buy, and yes, they would have had to travel and all that, but
to still their own personal racetrack.
Yeah, it's much cheaper than having to build it anywhere else.
Well, I like to see now what they're going to do with this new one now that they're doing this little.
It's basically just going to
be. It's basically the back car park or the back pit area.
Yeah,
where it used to be for the rallying and where we used to go. So when we were doing the backtrack, when instead of doing the full loop, when we just done the backtrack.
You got back from your honeymoon. You got your Cosworth.
Yeah, and just before I actually got the Cosy, before I even sold the Focus, that was too clean because that got a lot of paint work done on it. That was a lovely show car, so it was a nice. It was actually a trophy winning show car as well.
Right.
That's when I bought the XR2, the white one.
Yes.
Because I wanted a daily.
Yes.
So I went down to an 89 little Mark II XR2 for
That's
the daily.
class.
That was one of my favourite cars. Still to the day is probably one of my favourite. Well, my Mark III is my favourite, but this one was just a little go-kart. Like a set of 60 springs, but I had adjustable panhard on the rear, adjustable toe and camber on the front of it. It was set up properly. And it's 1.6 CVH, but probably only about
That'd have been
120.
alright. But sure,
power to
weight-
weight ratio was
Probably
brilliant,
weighed
but,
about 800.
Had that one. What happened was that I got made redundant out at the job, so got a couple of quid out of that one. And my boss even told me, he goes, "Don't spend all your money on cars." I went and spent all my money on fucking cars, so but pay dividend to me now. Like the prices of them now, I was just lucky enough when I bought them; you were all cheap enough. So anyway, came back from the honeymoon, had the Cosy. First mod I'd done with that was got rid of a set of 17-inch dynamics, and I got the white compomotives. The 1880s, yeah, the 1880s,
yeah. Whose phone is it? Yours or?
Watch phone, one of the lads. Are you still talking shit? Are you still talking shit on the podcast? Yes.
Yes. Yes, you are.
So that was one of the first mods I'd done on that one. Then we were going to Ford Fair, so I booked it in then with MSD straight away, Motorsport Development, and we went over. We got her mapped up to the 420, but I think over the years after that she backed off. I think when you went for a spin on it, she was way down in power.
I don't know. Yeah.
It had it, but see, it's a big agricultural gearbox that's in it. Like first is up here, second was down here.
Sure, I'm used
but I think
to
it
that.
went from night and day because even though the Focus, when you came for the spin, the Focus was only 360 brake.
Yes.
But there's night and day between the two cars.
So
it was a fucking rocket. Jesus Christ, Kisty.
Your Sierra has the big turbo, I think.
Yeah.
That's got the big one.
T34, and then
Yeah.
I had the rear wheel drive exhaust housing.
Yeah, so it's got the bigger housing. Your turbo setup, it's old school lag.
Yeah,
It kinda-
proper lag. And she didn't come alive till 4.5, nearly 5.
Yeah, same as the old.
But then when she came on, she came on.
So it was the same.
Yeah.
It's the same as how my old Hulsa used to be in that car before I changed. And to be honest, if I was
She was great when you were at 70 and you put her down. She would have gone like fuck, but down low in it, unless you were ragging the balls over, it took long enough to.
Because I noticed that you were like, "God, give it to her," and I put the foot, and there was like nothing. She built revs, and she gets to about 4.2, 4.3, and then it just takes off. And because it's 4-wheel drive, it doesn't try and kill you.
But with the Focus, that was just gone in a second. She just literally.
Your Focus is no lag.
Gone
Like, your
and
Focus
zero
is a
lag.
fast
That was
car.
the beauty of it. It's a fucking rocket.
And it stops on a dime.
Yeah.
Because you've got AP6 spots.
AP6 spots on it. They're fucking monster shops. That's one of the best things on it. And semi slicks.
I stress
They're
the
like-
semi-slicks.
What semi-slicks?
The Nankang NS2Rs.
Oh.
They're a savage tire
They
in the
are-
wet.
they are
Oh, no,
actually.
sorry, in the dry. Oh, they're so sketchy in the wet. They are so sketchy, like Chinese tires. So they are. They're literally. I was going to Mondello, and the new way to Mondello, you go up and the double roundabout. You go through the roundabouts, and then you go by the Apple, one of the garages.
Yeah,
Yes.
but
Yeah,
see
so-
one of them roundabouts is just pure grease.
Oh, dude, like I went up, I went to turn normal 40 mile an hour or whatever, and she just kept going straight. I mean, I went, and then I let
That
off.
took third.
Yeah, I let off, and then she near like fucking spot. I was like, these tires are fucking cat. I need to get a set of winter wheels. I was like, I know.
Minus 12 camber.
Yeah.
The first year of LZ Fest. I came into that corner and turned, and the car just kept going. I went, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
I took third. Yes.
That is
Third.
a sketchy roundabout.
I don't understand
So
how
it's,
it's so greasy. Like,
Probably with the lorries and that, maybe going up to the.
but I came in then the following year in the Sierra going to LZ Fest, and I was like, I remember this roundabout was like quite greasy, so I need to make sure I take it easy and not spear on like I did last year. But it shouldn't be the same problem. Don't have the same camber. Turned the wheel, car went straight on. For fuck's sake.
Oh, brilliant. So this was back then. So this is when then the Mark III that I currently have now came on the scene.
Yes.
So, and this is when I had a nice lockup. Not that the one I'm in now. This is one that I had closer to Balbriggan. Then this Mark III popped up on Dundee. I think it was. So what happened? The Cosy and the XR2 then. So then this Mark III popped up, and €1,800. I think it was for 5 seconds. I'm on the way. Oh no, sorry, I got it for 80, and I think it was only looking $2,000 for it. A lot of work needed to be done in it, but I didn't care. I wanted one. They were still rare. I had to buy an eyes. I didn't give a toss. I was buying it regardless. I would have put the work into it. When I got it, I done the water pump timing belt, got the cooling end of things done, and then I had to do the family thing. I ended up having the first boy.
Oh.
So that got put in a container. That ended up staying in that container for 8 years.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
I think whenever I landed down with you,
No, it was still there.
no,
Oh, no,
you'd literally,
Literally.
just pulled her out of the container.
Yeah.
Maybe was it a week?
Yeah.
Beforehand, 2 weeks. Now maybe I'm exaggerating, but I do remember it had only just come out of the container.
It literally only had come out of the container. See,
Yeah.
I had Parker, and then 2 years later, we had another boy. We had Leighton. So that I still had the other cars that I was playing with, but this one was just in the back of the container, putting on the back burner all the time. I said, I'll get around to it. It took me like 2 days to clear all the crap in front of the container to actually get the car out. But when we did eventually, I knew, actually, when I actually pulled it out, I thought it was bad. It wasn't as bad as I thought. It kind of was. But there was a good couple of evenings and weekends put into that to get the welding. Sort on it, needed floors, rear sills, one of the chassis legs needed a bit of work done on it. So when we got that out and driving, I think I had a couple of other bits and that from other ones. I had a big pace intercooler. I had other stuff left over from other cars over the years. I'm a hoarder, same as yourselves. I just had a load of bits that was down at my mum's house. I had other hoses, I had dump valves, I had lowering springs, I had loads because this was a standard enough car when I got it. Done them couple of bits at it, and then I think I took it to the second LZ. So that was the first show that she ever done. This is before I pulled it asunder and done any other mods.
This was the 2024.
No, I think it could have been. Oh, see, don't forget, I always get them mixed
The
up.
year
with the two
Larry
of them.
Chen was 2023.
Yeah, because I do Drift Masters as well. When Drift Masters over here, I bring the cars as well. So I'm always
Modified Live.
Yeah, I'm always getting flustered of what cars I'm bringing
You
to them.
maybe
if
done
you
a
know what I mean.
Modified
So that's
Live
when I was being
2024.
a proper knob, and I end up bringing 2 cars to a lot of shows.
Who drives the other car?
Normally I will be a trailer queen. I get one trailer and I drive the other, or I get both of them trailered, or I would get another mate of mine to drive them, or here we go again, one of them I drove one up, got a lift back with Bubba, who owns Prestige Car Transporter. He was going back, got a lift back with him, and then drove the other car up the next morning.
Yeah, fair. That's a good way
There's
to
a
do
couple
it.
of lads that I do trust to drive them, but it'd just be very hard to let other lads in them. I'm not in the passenger seat. Nothing on them, they could be great drivers. It's some other knob end and do something.
Yes.
Yeah.
You'd rather have the responsibility on your
Like,
shoulders than anything else.
I'm very much
If
like
I blow it up, I blow it up. Someone else
Yes.
blows it up,
Like-
bastard you.
Adam.
Yeah.
Adam, I've driven Adam's. Now, don't get me wrong. I let Adam tear away in my Amarok. Like me and Adam did a car swap not that long ago. He was cleaning the Amarok, so he had my Amarok for a few days, and I had his Golf R, and I was tipping about in that. And that Golf R is a fast car, but him going into my Sierra and him going back to, because he's used to his creature comforts now with his wee flappy paddle gearbox and his wee DSG noise and all, and he has all that, and then you jump onto mine and it's like a full left leg workout to get her, and then
I noticed that.
and it's like
already,
it's a workout to get her into gear because of the remote shifter, and it's like a BMW box and all. It's just ignorant. And he's sitting there going, holy shit, this is... And then no power steering, because I took the power steering out of my car.
You don't need power steering. So when you're moving there, Grant, they'll turn.
Oh, but mine's is a disaster.
Yeah.
But the power steering doesn't return quick enough for drifting, I found. So I put an on-power steering rack in because it basically centers better.
For the first couple of years of my Sierra, the steering was always tight. It was always really stiff enough. And then one year they failed me on it that my steering pump was gone. I was like, no, it's fucking not. Car drives perfect, take it for a spin. So anyway, I had to get a new pump put in it. When I got the pump back in it, my car felt like shit, so it did. It was just, it didn't, I preferred it when the pump wasn't actually working. It was nearly nearly just knuckled, if you know what I mean. I preferred it like that.
If you lift your steering wheel till it's really high up, basically with the wee thing and the wee bushing or the wee bearing and the centre's basically pointing up, and your steering wheel's your columns actually more or less rubbing the chassis or the bulkhead, it'll actually stiffen it up a bit. Because I learned that the hard way when I was trying to lift it up and going, why is my steering wheel not centre?
Well, my Aussie's in the bowl corner now at the moment, unfortunately. But we'll get to that one. So we will. So yeah, back to the Mark III. So had it at LZ Fest, was happy enough the way it was, but then I had the T3 for it. I had the T3 for it 5 or 6 years, the Office Series 2 Escort.
So for people who aren't Ford, or explain to him.
The XR2, the Fiesta Turbo runs a T2.
Oh, okay.
Right, so everything when you look in it goes to the left. On the T3, the manifold is bigger, it's a monstrous big turbo, but everything goes to the right.
Okay.
So when I was doing this mod, my battery tray was kind of knackered, it was rusty, so I ended up cutting that out. I put the battery into the boot.
Okay.
And then this is where I went down the rabbit hole. This is where I literally, as I said, at first all I wanted to do was put the T3 on it and a bigger intercooler. That was it. Or probably leave the same intercooler in. Then the more I was at work, the more I was thinking. And then when I actually eventually did pull the engine out of it, I ended up painting the engine bay, doing a full wiring loom tuck on it. So you can see no wires in this engine bay whatsoever. See one or two that pop out that you need.
Yeah.
So there's not much to them. It was I think there was 2 powers. So the big main one from the battery up. And then there was one for your ECU, and then one for your light harnesses and fucking and all that bollocks. So, and then there was 5 earths. All the earths are either I lengthed ones that I had to there, and there was a lot of wires now, like a ditch that I didn't actually fucking need. So it was primitive enough to do that. So battery got put in the boot, and then I was down the rabbit hole of every nut and bolt got changed. New Samco hoses, chrome, a little nice couple of touchy bits of chrome and that, and nothing like I did donkeys years ago. But this was the one I've always wanted to build.
Yes.
Then I kind of knew, which the lads even at Dub Shed told me, he goes, paintwork let you down on that. So this is why after I'd done Dub Shed, I'd done 1 or 2 shows. So literally at LZ Fest a couple of weeks back, we got top 20 for it. Fucking delighted, absolute delighted with that. That was Sunday. Monday, she got fully stripped. She's literally ready for paint now. There was a little couple of bubbles around the fuel filler cap, common problem on them. Fuck me, it was bad. You go onto my Instagram or on Facebook and you can have a look at it. I pulled out literally a lump of Isopon filler, this much by about this thick out of it. Yeah, it was absolutely horrible. But back then I knew it needed to be done. There was a couple of bubbles on it. The bubbles kind of got a little bit worse over time, but I have the panels already for it. So literally now over the next week or 2, you'll see me. I'll have a nice little, I always just do Instagram stories, so I've been asked a couple of times, would I not document or try and do something on YouTube of the builds that I'm doing? I wouldn't say I haven't got time to do it, but
don't care.
No, I just don't care. I just wanted to get fucking shit done, but don't get me wrong, it would probably be alright viewing of doing the builds and stuff like that. So
if half the country wanted to do YouTubes and wanted to talk about the stuff that they do,
they wouldn't get it done.
Well, that and the fact that me and Conor wouldn't have an audience at all because they'd go and just watch their shit and listen to their stuff instead. So
8 would go to 1.
So where I'm at now said show car Sunday, strip car Monday. So I'm giving myself now till Cool Nights. So
when is Cool Nights?
29th. Cool Nights was actually meant to be when LZ Fest was on, but now it's got put back to November 29th. So I have still work and shit to deal with, family life to deal with, but I should have that welding done, fully painted, of all new rubbers to go into it, new front window, rear window, they're poppy out windows in the back, sunroof. Like there's a lad in the UK does all this stuff new, like the green stripes, original stripes to go back onto the side of it.
That's class.
So I'm hoping now in the next 6 weeks, 7 weeks, I shall have this back to the way it was, but just better again.
That's
There's too many little imperfections on the paintwork. Whoever done the bodywork on it before literally just did not have it right before paint. He put paint on it and there was still lumps of twigs and fucking sticks and everything. It was horrible. As I always called her, she was a good 5-footer. Only 50 shades of grey. You know?
Like my car.
Yeah. So yeah, that's next on the list is get that one finished now, hopefully for Cool Nights, and then after that, back to the XR2. Because she's in the bowl corner, or she's in the container now.
Yeah.
Because believe it or not, I was actually working on that XR2 before I started the Mark III. And then it was just getting too much welding. There was too much, to be honest. I said, you know what? I'm only going to do a couple of small bits on the Mark 3. Mark 3 ended up taking just as long to finish, if you know what I mean.
But you don't? Do you regret doing it to the Mark 3?
Oh fuck no.
No.
I'm delighted that I done it now, because this is the one I said I always wanted to build.
Yeah.
This is like out of the 6 or 7 of them I had over the years, between XR2 with Mark 3s and between RS Turbos 1800s and XR2Is and stuff like that. This is the one I've always wanted to do. Like she's period correct, but OME plus.
So yeah, the bigger turbo. Did you not see everything had to move like 1 centimetre forward to the right? Oh,
1 inch forward.
So your radiator and your intercooler are further
forward. Yeah, everything is pushed forward because of the turbo. And then I have the Funk Motorsport blanket on it.
Yes.
And it's still this much of a gap. But what I'm going to do is now I'm probably going to go bigger intercooler and an RS 2000 rad.
Mm-hmm.
So, because it's non-turbo, it's bigger.
Yes.
It's wider, and you can get a bigger upgraded version for it.
Do you run? I think you do. You run an intercooler, don't you?
Yeah.
It's not like it just goes straight up.
No, it's a big
onto
stage 2 intercooler. This is a big monstrous intercooler that sits in the front of it. Because normally it was the rad, and then it was an intercooler that sat on the side of it. That's why when you look at it, there's about this much of a gap. I'm going to fill that gap out now.
Yeah.
So because they're kettles, they literally want to boil.
Yeah, that's a Ford
because the turbo's so close to the rad.
Yes.
Like, I'm tipping along at 60, 70. She'll keep her at 80, 90 in temperature, if you know what I mean, man. As soon as you start shooing her on up a little bit more, giving her a little bit too much boost, she just likes to get hot.
What about traffic as well?
Cunt.
Yeah.
Absolute nightmare.
Yeah. The Fords.
What I'll do is, if I'm stuck in traffic for too long, I'll just turn it off.
Fords, just because, like, don't get me
Even
wrong.
with the rad, the rad on a switch, still.
But like now Saabs are known for running warm too, but my car would get warm. And when you're like, I know turbo petrols aren't good for diffing, but my car will get warm very quickly. And I know a fella who had an SR20 and a Sierra, and it did nothing but heat. So he took it out, put it back into the same engine, put it back into an S13. No problems with heating. Yeah. They just don't seem to get rid of heat.
Yeah.
Well,
like what I done in mine, I put the bonnet raisers on it. I popped the bonnet up as well, so that's to let the heat go out again. So, but now when I put a bigger intercooler on it and bigger rad, I can go from, I think it's a 13-inch fan, I can go to two 11s.
Yeah, so my plan is to go for 2 massive, because I have my car driving normally ice cold. Like, sits in traffic, doesn't heat at all. Like, my car will not lift a hand in traffic unless the fans fail, which happened recently enough, but that's a story for another day. But I'm going to actually change out to real big thick fans to like draw, basically pull.
I'm going to have to go another inch forward with fucking everything again now, so I'm going to have to cut more of the front bumper out to get the bigger GSR. I think it's GSR is the name of it. It's a silly intercooler, so it shouldn't be on a little Fiesta, but it's
you have to.
Yeah.
People say you can't have too much cooling. I think you can, maybe, like, so my oil cooler is just, I don't have a thermoplate. Well, I do have a thermoplate in my oil cooler, but it doesn't work. So everything runs to my oil cooler first. So my car takes forever and a day to get warm.
Even in mine, to keep it cooler, I put my turbo down from water cooled and oil cooled just to oil cooled.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I run water cooled as well, but part of me had actually thought of, so I have an oil cooler here on top of my front mount. Part of me had thought about maybe moving the oil cooler over to the left and putting what looks like an oil cooler in as a charge cooler for the turbo water. I've heard people talking about doing that. I don't think it's some.
I have one on the Sierra.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, actually?
Yeah. So it cools the turbo down.
Ah.
So you have it basically, and it's AirTech as well. It just sits on top of the old school pace intercooler. So the rad's at the back, big intercooler in the front. This one just sits on top. So instead of going through the swirl, it still goes through the swirl pot. It just comes out of turbo straight into this other cooler, basically just an extra rad, and then it cools it down before it goes back into the header tank.
Ah. So it's not such a stupid idea then?
No, definitely not. No.
Because I've seen other boys talk about it in the Cosy pages, and I've went, maybe not a bad idea.
It's cooling down the water, base coming out of the turbo, so it's not constant. It's giving it it's still going to be hot as fuck, but it'll bring it down a couple of degrees possibly.
It doesn't completely. Yeah. So do you? Would you ever have problems with your Cosy with heat?
No, I never. I tell shit you not, lad. I had no issues with her for 10 years until we took it out last Paddy's Day. And I don't even think I went into third gear, as we mate always says. I literally was banging around first or third, second, everywhere. got back to the unit, parked her over in the wash bay, walked over to into the lockup, went to get me cleaning buckets and me washer, came out, seen a trickle of water. Well, I wouldn't say a trickle, it was a bit of water coming out from underneath it, and I was like, ooh, that wasn't wet when I first came in. I was like, maybe I just busted a hose or rad or something went on it. Popped the bonnet, and literally my eye straight away, I seen a drip coming down in between piston 1 and 2. I was like, hopefully, fingers crossed, it's
gasket
no, I was hoping it was one of the frost bung or something.
Yes.
That might have popped in or something on it, or it was the coolant that it's a steel that goes across in between the back of the turbo. There's a big metal pipe, water pipe. I was hoping it would have been that, but no. Ended up being the fucking head, yeah, unfortunately. So when we did pull the head off it, instead of me being smart and dropping the water out of it straight away, she took water into cylinder 1. So she rusted up the bore on it. But come here, after that anyway, she was a bit of piston slap between 2, 3 and 4. So we said, right, stick her in the bowl corner, we'll finish the Fiesta and we'll get back to it.
They're worth fixing.
Oh, 100%.
They're worth fixing.
Definitely. I'm budgeting probably 6-7 grand. It mightn't cost that. Depends how far down the rabbit hole I go.
But are you going to keep it the way it is?
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Yeah.
It's not like you're going to go well outside.
I might change the turbo a little bit if I can.
Would you change the turbo?
To something newer? I don't know. It all depends on the dollar, lad.
If you ran what I run, you would have a super responsive turbo that makes the same power. Mine's actually makes more power than my whole set.
It wouldn't bother. Yeah, I probably would, but it wouldn't bother me changing something up like that whatsoever. If I could, because I know the turbo on the Fiesta now, she does need a rebuild. First, second, third, fourth gear, you let off, no issue whatsoever. You're in fifth, you're giving her a little bit of jazz. You let off, there is a little bit of puff of smoke coming out. So it's just the oil seal on the turbo side, on the exhaust side of it.
Yeah.
So, but when you start her up, and it's not bad. When you start her up in the morning, like there's no smoke, there's no oily smoke coming out of it whatsoever. So we'll get her done.
What would be your dream car?
Oh, nearly bought one.
Oh,
yeah, nearly bought one R35.
Really?
Yeah, just for some reason I just fucking want a big Asbo R35, yeah.
That is not what I would have paid.
Yeah, there you go.
No story behind it other than just you would want one.
I wanted one and then just kind of snapped out of it for a simple reason is I could afford to buy one if I sold the Cosy. Probably would have to put 10 or 15 grand towards it. Didn't mind doing that. It's the upkeep of it. Taxing the motherfucker. If you had to do a full service and shit like that, or change the brakes or anything like that, it was serious money. So it wasn't like just going and buying a set of brakes or something like that for the Cosy or Focus or something like that, if you know what I mean.
They're different level
only a
again.
couple of hundred quid. This was a complete different level. So it was something broken there.
I never thought of that actually. And they're big cramped engine bay.
Yeah. So it was smart. So then it says, right, I would like Mark III RS. So I had to go on one of them for a couple of days and I loved it. Don't get me wrong, I did like it. But it just wasn't the Cosy. So I ended up, still had the Cosy, kept the Cosy.
Oh, Mark III RS Focus?
Yeah, Mark III RS Focus, yeah.
Would you not prefer Mark II?
No, I do. I like the Volvo engine, I like the bang off them, but I wanted to go for something newer.
Fair enough.
But that was the thing, I wanted something newer to daily, kind of.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't have daily in the fucking thing, so I wouldn't have. I would have initially kind of justifying it for myself and to the wife. Oh yeah, I'm gonna daily this now. No, I wouldn't.
You'd have bought another.
Yeah, I would have.
89
yeah.
Mark II
Yeah.
XRA. So if you could go back and get one car from your past to have it in the garage now,
that'd be the Skyline would be up there. That MR2 was a lovely car then as well.
The Fiesta.
surely it would be their first
no,
no
the first one, no, probably, maybe. See, she was originally an XR2i that we turboed, that we put an RS turbo in, so she wouldn't say the real deal, if you know what I mean. But no, I probably wouldn't. I still remember the reg, and she was at 1990 LK 1990.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so she was 90 LK 1990.
That was a nice reg, actually.
Yeah, it was a nice reg. A friend of mine bought that off me, has it in his collection still to this day, I believe.
Oh.
Yeah, well, actually, no. I was told last weekend when we were at Ford show that he actually sold it up, but he did have it up until recent enough.
Class.
So he did.
Oh, thank you so much for coming on.
No, thanks for having me, lads. It's been a long time in the
coming.
making. It's been a long time in the making.
If people want to see your stories and follow you, what can they get you on?
Mainly it'd be just Instagram,
Yeah.
so it'd be Al_Dillon.
Yeah.
You'll get me on there. You'll see the builds that I'm at the moment. Sometimes I go dark on it because I'm at work, if you know what I mean. You'll see nothing, and then when I'm up in the garage, then when I have a good couple of days off, I'd be just photo after photo up, you know. So yeah, that'd be the main spot to get me.
Class.
And then obviously that's linked with my Facebook page, but it's mainly
Instagram.
I do put the odd one or two, but I haven't done it in a while, up on my TikTok.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that'll be the same
Al_Dillon.
Dillon. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Alan.
been a
No bother,
pleasure.
boys. Yeah. Like, share and subscribe, guys.
As said before we cut away to Al Conor, the man is such good conversation.
The only problem was we didn't have enough time.
Yeah.
You had to get up at 8:00 in the morning, and that could have ran on for 3-4 hours. Like,
Yeah.
we didn't get enough covered. To be honest with you, to
you
justify
could
it.
do. To be fair, like, well, a lot of our guests. Now we've only had 1 or 2 repeat guests, but
One.
just John McLean, was it? Have we had no one else on repeat? Huh. You're right. Terry, technically, because she came to Dubshed with us.
That's right. Yes.
But yeah, like we could have everybody on again, like.
Oh, in a heartbeat.
But yeah, so moving on. Couple of wee things to end up the podcast. The first thing, community group this week. I asked a question. What is like a tool that you would never lend anybody, not your best mate? And of course, the responses did not disappoint, with Chrissy Milligan coming in with the one between my legs, which is quite right.
Because it's episode 69.
Which worked out well. Taylor Jackson said the tractor or the baler, he posted a picture, he's out in New Zealand I think again in a minute, if either he's home or he's away, or anyway he's out with a tractor and square baler, so Pottinger of course, because T Jacksons and Sons, they all do the Pottinger stuff. There's a nice wee plug for you, Dillon and Taylor. Jeremy said my 11090, which can we rectify is my 110, but Jeremy seems to think he has it now.
That's very true. Yes.
Andrew Muldrew said the checkbook.
That's a very good one. Yes.
Andrew Morton says he would lend the 90, but not the 70. He's a 64 now. He recently bought 3670. Did you see that?
Oh, yeah.
So
he no longer has the 14.
Oh, I know. Devastating.
She went in good hands. She went to good hands though.
I know she did, but I don't know. It's just sad seeing a man who's just going to the masses, like.
Why?
It's kind of like football teams, isn't it? Like, if you had a really good, so you support United, right?
Yeah.
And say a potential United fan came, or potential player came to United but went to Liverpool instead, would you not be raging?
I'm not maybe that emotionally invested, but I get
there are, yeah. I feel like that's the same as tractors. There's absolutely nothing wrong with a Massey. Truthfully, there's not. The CC engines are class, but still Massey. Because I'm a New Holland man, so obviously I'm just going like, Massey, even though there's nothing wrong with them.
And to be fair, yours gets ferried about with my Massey.
I
At
actually
times.
enjoy driving your Massey a hell of a lot more now. I just need a bit of time of my own in it.
It's like anything but.
Yeah, once I just footed about, because even the wee 57 as well, I actually enjoyed it too.
Just dead.
It's a bit dead. It's a wee bit dead. But that being said, I was more comfortable driving with your 57 with the big trailer, the big green trailer on behind, than I was with my Fiat with the big red trailer on behind, even though they're the same trailer.
They're not technically the same trailer, but they're same idea.
Similar enough, even though the Fiat.
But the amenities in the 5.7 would be better than the 110.
It would be alright, yeah. And I think it's just I didn't know what the 110 was capable of at the start.
True.
And then by the end of the day, I was going up Artlone Hill.
Yes.
So, yeah. And Ryan Kelly said, don't let this distract you from the fact that Michael had a white Alteza and he regrets selling it, in case you didn't know.
You mightn't regret it so much this time next year. You might
We'll
regret
see.
more, you might regret more things.
Yeah.
But you'll not.
We'll see.
We'll say nothing.
That's something for another time. on another platform, maybe. We'll see.
Say no more.
Say no more. Other than that, to finish off,
What's one thing you would never?
one thing I'd never land. Fuck, there's very few things I would land that I wouldn't. I would have generator.
Really?
Yeah. Don't know. Just feel like a generator. I would lend it to someone if I was there and I'd go, here, take it. Like if I was at Drift Games, like Drift Bash or whatever, and someone needed it for that, like, no bother. But if someone was like, storm's coming up, can I borrow your generator? I'd be like, well, no, because
I need it.
I kind of hope I need it. Other than that, I don't know.
Oh, you hope that you need it?
Well, I hope I don't need it, but it's there if I do. Because I would lend my tractor, I would lend my trailers, I would lend
anything?
Yeah, I would
I
lend.
hate taking a lend, but I will
I
lend.
hate taking a lend. I absolutely despise taking a lend. If my tractor has to go away now for a few weeks here to get sorted out, and the problem turns out to be bigger than it is, I shouldn't need it for much. But even the fact of having to go to someone and be, here, can I borrow your tractor till I get this done? It just doesn't sit well with me. I'd rather. That's why I would nearly like want a second tractor as well, just to be covered. That's why like I don't really need a slurry tanker for all the amount I do. But the day I need it, it's there, and I don't have to ring someone and go, here, can I borrow it? And it's only 1,300, so it's perfect size for doing like 2 acre paddocks and stuff. Here, what would you not lend?
My phone.
Oh fuck, that's actually a really, really good answer.
It's not for anything.
No, it's your phone. It's basically part of you. It's like giving someone your heart.
It's more like so much info to do with the farm and everything.
Oh, absolutely. But even I thought like you just wouldn't. But it's not even that. Bank card information.
Oh, exactly.
All your payments.
Yes.
Yeah, you would. Yeah, you'd never give anybody your phone. If you need it, okay. If someone was standing beside you and they're like, my phone's dead, can I use your phone to make a call? You'd do that.
Well, that's a different story.
But if they said, can I borrow your phone for a day because I don't have mine? No, absolutely not. Yeah, no, that's a very, very valid point. Sorry, Kat. So I've edited this out, but actually I went off, started talking about something else, and Conor was like waiting for you to kind of ask the question back, and I was like, oh shit. So,
you self-centered bastard.
Yeah, to be fair, deserved in that case. But I think it's just because I'm so excited to tell this next story. Wait, hear this. That's actually really cool. So I have a few Snapchat streaks with people. A lot of these people are people who I've just sort of met, listeners of the pod, people who I just get on with, people who have people who are very interesting, and like, you know, I know them personally. I have a streak with you, for example.
With Becca?
With Becca, yep. Connor Kelly, Adrian, Adam Cooper, Andrew Muldrew, just a few other people. Anyway, there's a lad who we met at Granard last year called Gary McInerney.
Okay, yeah.
And I was like, so Gary does a bit of drifting, has a E46 with a set of R33 wheels. Do you know the car I'm on about?
Yes.
Absolutely class. Anyway, I'm sitting in a restaurant in Portugal. Me and Becca got off the plane, went to the hotel we were staying in, and on that hotel area there was a restaurant. So I was like, fuck, I'm starving, let's go for food. And open my phone, and Gary has sent me a snap just of a streak, and the location is the exact location of where I am.
Oh, okay, yeah.
In Albufeira. So then I was okay. I goes, you must be near me. And he goes, aye. He goes, where are you at? I goes, I'm over for a wedding. He goes, me and the miss just here for a bit of time off. So I was okay. Next day, I met Niall Tohol. Me and Niall Tohol went down to get breakfast, and then he'd got his haircut. I got up a bit later, and then I went to get my haircut, hence the fresh fade. And that was all right. So came out.
On a side note, I got a haircut there too recently, but I changed the haircut.
Right?
I got is it a burst fade?
What does that mean?
It basically means that I now have a modern day Claddy V.
Ah.
So the back of my hair isn't long enough.
Yeah.
So and I got it kept really quite low.
Okay, I can't do that because I'm too bald.
No, I mean like low as in here.
Yes.
So it's the reason I have a hat on tonight is because number one, BRM,
Absolutely.
and I
yeah.
couldn't obviously make yesterday. And number two, here's a fucking mouse.
Well,
And I got uttermint all over my head.
fair enough. Well, side note, the mechanics, the barbers I went to in Albufeira were like, no, they were massive like car people.
Oh, really?
So one of the boys actually owned an E36. I did drifting him. The boy that was cutting my hair had an A5 that was.
How do you even come on to this conversation with your barbers?
Because barbers talk, and they all spoke very good English. Albufeira, I think you kind of have to because it's such a touristy place. But the whole shop, so like all of their like where they store their barber, like all their equipment, it's all toolboxes. Yeah,
That's cool.
Yeah, really cool.
That's
all
really
toolboxes.
cool.
They all have number plates above each of their stations.
Oh well, I can
Like kind
understand
of like
that, yeah.
gas cans and like oil cans and all that kind of stuff. You know, like the kind of deal, like everything, like on the TV, it was Daily Driven Exotics.
Cool.
You know, so like it was proper. They were all proper car guys. So like obviously, then I was in my element. We were chatting away. We were showing them pictures of my Sarah, and of course, like of the wedding. I was like, look what happened at my wedding, you know. And like, there's the Chaser and Skyline and my car and whatever all going out. Like, and it was it was cool. But anyway, I came out and I was standing ordering an Uber, and the next thing I just heard this shout. And I was like, Michael. And I turned around and goes, who the fuck's calling my name? And in a cafe, just beside where my barber happened to be, out of the pure random, there was Gary and his missus sitting. And I was just like, holy shit. What a small world.
Oh, of course.
So, yeah, you can go literally thousands of miles away. Like, what are the chances that two people, he's from like Mayo or Galway or that part of the country, or down the Wild West anywhere. Anyway, and anyway. And I think, pretty sure he's the same part of the country as Ryan O'Toole.
I have no idea.
And so he's he's there. Me and him obviously snap every day because of the streak. And there's the two of us in Portugal at the same time.
Did you get the beard done too?
I did actually, yeah. I did get the beard done. I got a wee fade in and out. It's class.
They must have took the
Yeah, they did.
the thingy
cutthroat.
to your top bits, yeah.
Did indeed.
You're very fresh. You
It's
are.
pretty fresh. It's fresh with a PH. And the final wee thing was so the Sun Drifter. I joined a group called Red Line Ireland.
Oh.
Pretty sure I'm probably the oldest guy on it.
Oh, really?
And I'm scared to know what age some of the people are, because I mean, a lot of sim drifters in this country, to be honest, they have sims because they can't drive.
Never thought about that, but yes.
So, well, you take the likes of like Conor Shanahan, Conor Falvey, like that's what they were doing for years with sim drifting. Like, so a lot of these people, and obviously these guys obviously can't drive, so what do? They go on to like certain maps and they drive about and just pretend they're cruising. You can also download like quite a few known cars, like Luke Quinn's PRT has Black Sierra, it's on Assetto. So is Shay Lahrens.
Oh.
Who else is? There's quite a few of them, and they're all created. And this fella wrote to me and goes, "I'd like to make your car." So
That's right. Yes.
yeah. So Dathy wrote to me and goes, "Yeah, I'd like to make your car," and I was like, "All right, cool." So he has now made my Sierra. He was like, "What are your wheels?" I was like, "They're Body Clubs," and he was like, I can't really get them, but he's basically taken like a set of like Rotas or JRs and made the spokes a bit thinner. Mike Tyson over here. He's made the spokes thinner, and like then he made your car.
I didn't expect that. Now that was
he made
cool
your
day.
car and it has the limit slip differences banner and all on them too.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah,
Oh, there you
it's
go.
class. So shout out to Dathy. KHL is the Red Line
Would that be
Ireland tag.
Dahi.
Dahi, maybe Dahi. I don't know if it's Dahi or Dahi. Not very good with names like that. But anyway, shout out there. Fair play to him.
Can you download mine?
Yeah, I can. I haven't even got around to downloading mine yet.
That would be
I haven't
quite
been here,
cool.
but yeah, so it means we can put your car into the game and just mess about Mondello Park.
I can do a burnout and not waste tires.
You maybe could actually, because I have the hydro handbrake plugged into the sim now.
I could pull third.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. You could put the tire pressures up maybe and do it. So have you any like wee odds and ends or anything, just wee trinkets of conversation, shall we say?
I'm sorry to disappoint everybody, but I'm all out.
Fair. Call it time.
Yeah, but here, guys, if you have made it this far, follow the pod on all socials, please. It's at Limited Slap Differences and everything. If you're watching this on YouTube and you're not subscribed,
Shame on you.
fuck you.
I'd on the PC version of it.
It's episode 69, lad.
True. Shake that thing,
And
shake that
please leave a
thing.
comment. We'll look at it.
Might reply to it, but we'll look at it.
We do look at them all. And on Spotify, if you're hearing this, then good lad, you've made it to the end.
Thank
as
you.
long as you didn't fast forward to the end.
If it gets us the views, fair play. If you're doing your bit, actually, I'm not against that.
No. And yeah, that's it. That's a wrap.
That's
Till next
us.
time, folks. Goodbye.
See you later. All the best.
Bedtime.